Good morning, Vooka. Welcome to a Monday in your Konala Vooka Breakfast Show. And now I hope that you guys are feeling very fantastic and that you're also nice and warm outside, right? Because as in it's confused it's still very cold and we're heading towards the winter season. And of course, you're still here with me, Afri Berry, also known as Miss Berry Plays. But to the darker the berry, the sweeter than Tontoni. I hope you guys also had a wonderful and fantastic weekend and that you are also nice and safe out there during the weekend. But don't also forget, we have something very gem-packed for you today. But let me not just get into that. How's my fellow co-host doing today? How are you, Mo?
Hey Afri, it's a very good Monday morning right here. The beginning of the week, if I can put it like that for most of the people who are watching. You know, man, that Mondays are always blousing, man. We're always fighting to get on ahead of this week. But I can't complain, man. Can't complain. Looking forward to this week because, you know, Mondays are full of motivation. All I can say is I am full, of hunger to know more about what we are having this week. Because, the Vooka Breakfast Show, man, we never disappoint. But, to answer you in shortly, I am okay. Thank you so much. And how are you doing, man, this morning?
Well, I'm holding on. I just had some very devastating news over the weekend. So I'm just literally trying to keep myself together, but I'm okay for today. Hey?
Yeah, definitely, man. I hope that you become okay, and the show, man, will just be that pick you up, man, because you know that here we always and we do not disappoint when it comes to making sure that people's spirits are picked up, because this is your energetic start of the day. Located in the heart of Johannesburg, it is Soweto, Dobsonville. That is where we are broadcasting live. So definitely, man, we'll be looking into bringing motivation just to spice around the room and give it that heat and the energy that we need for the rest of the day. But man, we don't disappoint right here, and each and every week I bring you what we call picture of the day. It will be something that will be going on, so yeah, Afri, I just want you to let me know, man, that what do you think I have for our people today when it comes to picture of the day? Just think of something just to give you a clue, man. Wild. What do you think we have?
I think you have the Lion Park.
When
you said wild, that's the one thing I thought about, because I've always wanted to go to the Lion Park.
Yeah.
And just literally pat them.
Yeah, definitely. So while we're still, fixing our pictures, okay, so I'm getting a thumbs up right there. So if you can see behind me, we've got the wildlife, man. I know that some of you, there are animals, and there's a wildlife and game reserves that you would like to go to visit with your family. And remember, the reason for picture of the day is to make sure that your bucket list is filled. Since I've told you that you have to wait for December, no, you don't have to wait for December anymore to fix your itinerary to travel with your families. So this is what you actually missing out. Behind me, let me just move a little bit aside so that you can just see the beauty of wildlife that South Africa has to give. Even the game reserves, man. Look at that beautiful, sunrise out there. It's something that you can experience when you book yourself out with your family and friends, just to experience the ecosystem, the environment that our wildlife and game reserves have to offer. So obviously our game reserve in South Africa, they offer rich and safari experience with a diverse wildlife. So definitely Amakhala Game Reserve is another game reserve that a lot of people should be looking out for. So Amakhala is a relatively budget friendly and a convenient choice for a private wildlife reserve experience in the Eastern Cape. It's covering a small area in the reserve and it's fenced from all sides. You can easily view the big five at the game reserve. That we know that every time when you go to game reserves, whether it's Kruger National Park, we're always looking forward to see the big five, right? So The national park features exclusive cruises, rides, and safaris for an exciting game viewing experience. It also supports social development in the area by providing jobs and education. So definitely you need to get yourself out there, man. Prepare, those schedules. Schedule for whether it's next month, whether it's next week, you guys want to go out. And I hope that if you're watching right now, you're a parent. We know that the school kids were on a short break, 1 week break. So I hope that you guys have, taken them out to see the wildlife. We have the Johannesburg Zoo that is near. It's not even a 2-hour drive. It's just a 45 minutes drive from where I stay. If you're around Johannesburg, if you're in Gauteng, you are near Johannesburg Zoo. So this is what we promise to give you each and every day in what we call the picture of the day. So for today, it's Amakhala Game Reserve. Definitely you have to check it out on your social medias, check it out on your website. Just go to Google and look for Amakhala Game Reserve. Definitely we'll see all of the activity hubs that are taking place on the game reserve. So just let me know what you think right there on our YouTube, also on Facebook by using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. That you know what, Mo, I'm looking forward to traveling this year with my family. So yeah, that's all I have for you. So what you need to do is to write down those comments. So that's all from me, Afri. I'm taking it back to you. I don't know what you think about the wildlife, or you someone who is doing more of indoors, so I don't know which person are you, outdoor or indoor?
Well, believe it or not, I am both an introvert and an extrovert. So I do a bit of both. But I think also shining light on the importance of our wildlife as we have poachers who are also out there poaching an animal. I think at this moment it is very important for kids to know more about the nature that we have and the wildlife that is actually out there in nature. But speaking on that note, we have amazing gem-packed show lined up for you. We have 3 amazing guests who will also be pulling through today. Vooka Breakfast Show. One is a motivational speaker to give you a bit of a motivation on Monday and how to look forward to your week and have a very bright day today, right? And we also have a mover and shaker, somebody who's out there doing something for the community that they live in and the surrounding areas. And then thirdly, we also have an entrepreneur who will be giving us insights on the world of business and how she actually navigates her world of business and make sure that she strives to become the best. But we also have something more packed for you in store. But that one is Pirinyana, and I'm just gonna hide it for now, but you'll just know about it during the show. So right now we're gonna head over to Mo Kids in My Mind with the news headline and also the sports line, not forgetting your traffic update.
Once again, a very good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. Here are your following headlines. On the first one, Ramaphosa urges GNU parties to put citizens first. Tensions are high in the Government of National Unity as President Cyril Ramaphosa works to keep the 10-party coalition united. The Democratic Alliance opposed the VAT hike and is taking legal action, causing friction with GNU partners. The DA's leadership has yet to decide on its future in the coalition. With discussion ongoing, Ramaphosa emphasizes prioritizing South Africans' interest. On the second headline, Justice for Kwekwe, outrage as two other rape cases come to light. South Africa continues to grapple with gender-based violence and child abuse. The rape of a 7-year-old Kwekwe at her school in the Eastern Cape has caused outrage alongside similar cases involving two other pupils in Matatiele. Poor police investigation have further compounded the suffering of victims and their families. On another headline, twist and turns in Lombardy East alleged kidnapping case. The Lombardy East human trafficking case has taken a disturbing turn. Family of 3 minors claim they were kidnapped, tortured and sent back to their alleged captors after a court appearance. Allegations suggest police involvement in the illegal operation. The kidnappers, reportedly of Ethiopian origin, are extorting money from families, with one demanding 85,000 rands under threat to a victim's life. I will not be deterred. Those are the words of Dean McPherson after receiving death threats. The minister is investigating corruption in his department, focusing on an 800 million rand tender for hospital oxygen infrastructure. 2 companies lacked regulatory approval and a ghost company received 428 million rands. Missing documents and poor procurement procedures have raised concerns. Despite death threats, McPherson remains committed to fighting corruption and cleaning up the department. That's all for your news headlines. Now heading over to your sports news, starting off with a Saturday game. Galaxy strike late to hold Chiefs. TS Galaxy salvaged a late 1-1 draw against Kaizer Chiefs in the Betway Premiership, with Mlungisi Mbunjana scoring in the 81st minute. Chiefs had taken the lead in the first half through Wandile Duba but failed to hold on. The result extended Chiefs' winless streak to 4 matches, leaving them 8th on the log. Galaxy climbed to 3rd through Though Stellenbosch has played 3 fewer games. Chiefs now turn their focus to the Nedbank Cup semi-finals against Mamelodi Sundowns, while Galaxy's next league match is on the 20th of April against Makesi FC. Liverpool rare loss delay title match. Southampton relegated. Liverpool 3-2 loss to Fulham marked only their 2nd Premier League defeat this season, but delayed their title match, needing 11 points to secure, record equaling 20th title. Despite their strong campaign under Ancelotti, the Reds show signs of fatigue after competing in the multiple tournaments. Arsenal 1-1 draw at Everton leaves them far behind Liverpool. Southampton's 3-1 defeat to Tottenham sealed their record-setting relegation, with 7 games remaining, becoming the first team to face this fate so early in the season. On the next headline, Chelsea in talks with UEFA over potential breach of financial regulation. Chelsea opened talks with UEFA over financial results for June 2024, despite posting a £128 million pre-tax profit. Question arose around £200 million valuation of their women's team, which UEFA and Premier League have yet to approve. UEFA's FFP rules exclude related party transactions such as hotel sales or the women's team valuation. Chelsea spent £553 million on player purchase while earning £208 million from sales. They must address these complexities to comply with the FFP regulation, which allow £200 million loss over 3 years while managing ambitious spending and restructuring efforts. Heading over to your rugby news, Blitzboks go to form 2 on final day in Singapore to finish with a flourish. The Blitzboks secured 3 wins from 4 matches, including impressive victories over Argentina and Australia, despite a pool stage loss to Great Britain after Sebastian Jobs' red card. They beat the USA 14-12 in the 9th place semi-final with tries from Zenda Reinders and Ricardo Duarte, whose late penalty secured the win against Australia. Early tries from Tristan Leeds and resilience during Siviwe So Izwapi yellow card helped the Blitzbok dominate 24-5. Selvin Davids added a fourth try with Duarte sealing the match through a decisive ruck penalty. That's all for now. Stay tuned for more sports and news updates throughout the show. Don't forget to share your thoughts on these headlines with us on social media using hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show and send us your voice note on 060-493-3226. Now that's all. Now let's head over to your traffic headline.
Well, yeah, Shopping Blossom Memory. Yes. Wow!
Hey family.
Hi, my name is Tisiga Mazbugo Shabalala.
My name is Moketi Maimane.
My name is Musi Miss.
My name is Ketua Ketumguni
On the Vooka
Breakfast Show.
Every weekdays from 7 a.m.
to 10 a.m.
This is where we are going to have our topical discussion featuring various aspects from different fields.
We're going to take care of you and it's going to be amazing, man. Right now I'm on the set of the Vooka Breakfast Show brought to you by the Blink-On Network.
Do not forget to subscribe.
That's Vooka Breakfast Show on Facebook and all other social media platforms.
Vooka.
See you there.
All right, so let's get you safe on those roads. Here's your latest traffic update. We have a stationary vehicle on N1 southbound after Proof Plus interchange on the ramp from the N4. One of 6 lanes is currently closed, which may cause delays for motorists traveling through the area. On the next traffic update, the traffic alert on N1 southbound in Pretoria Main Road after the ramp from Olifants Road in R562. Emergency lane is blocked, which could slow down traffic flow in the area. On the last one, police and military presence on N1 northbound Western Bypass at the ramp to N12 Southern Bypass. One of 6 lanes is closed, which may affect the traffic flow in the area. That's all for now. Let's get into today's morning epic show. Do not forget to use the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show to stay with us.
Musi Mist.
My name is Moketi Maimane.
Catch us every weekday morning, Monday to Friday between 7 and 10.
Right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show brought to you by the Blink-On Network.
Always bringing you the best content possible.
Vooka Nati, wake up with us and kickstart your day on a great note.
This is your energetic start to the day. Friends, come along with the Vooka team as time is spent
at the Vision Board and Pizza event out at Curiosity in Maboning,
aimed at promoting positivity, creativity that breeds longevity.
Enjoy tasks like silent reading,
vision boarding, and live performances.
Vooka Breakfast Show brings you all things great and amazing with Sacred Sundays
in collaboration with Mwari Pizza for Vision Board and Pizza.
All right, 27 minutes past 7. It is the time, and you're watching the Vooka Breakfast Show. Once again, a very good morning to you, where you are. There we go. It's a beautiful Monday morning, and of course, we just want to start the Monday on a very lighter note. Just to remind you that Monday are full of heaviness, man. Heaviness from the weekend. Other people, were paid. Of course, they were spending their money. But now the question is, man, waking up on this beautiful Monday morning, do you think it's worth it? Because yes, it is worth it when you get the money, when you get paid. When that check, when you get that notification that your money is in, it is worth it to go to your work. But it does not only end there. So you know that we have a lot of things packed right here for you on the Vooka Breakfast Show. My name is Moketi Maimane, and I'm happy to be here and joined by you where you are. And a special announcement that we have here at home is that we now have a WhatsApp line. So you can send us your voice notes. You can also call us live right here on the show. Yes, we've been speaking with you through YouTube with reading your comments by using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. But now, because we have a WhatsApp line, now we're going to be doing a lot of things. We are going to be growing our show and growing the audience into now hearing and communicating with you live by using our WhatsApp call, right? So the WhatsApp number is 060-493-3226. Definitely the number, they will get it right there on your screen so that you can put it there on your phones so that you can get in touch with us right here on the studio live and have a conversation. We know that some of the conversation you guys would like to, voice out without commenting. But yes, you can do that. Just don't hesitate to give us that call right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. Your energetic start to the day, located in the heart of Johannesburg. It is Soweto, Dobsonville. That is where we are streaming live. But you know that we always here as the Vooka team, dedicated to giving you all of the latest of what is happening and giving you an epic show. Also inviting guests to come in and share information that you guys will need. So today on our guests, we have guests lined up. Because, Monday are always for motivation. People, when it comes to business, they come in and share, the story of becoming entrepreneurs, man. The journey that they have traveled to where they are. So today we're going to be having Mrs. Beatrice Matlapeng. She is an entrepreneur. So definitely Mrs. Beatrice is going to be sharing more of a journey in the space of having a business. So definitely do make sure that you stay tuned for that one. If you know anyone who is doing business right there, just let them know that, hey yo, brah, hey yo, my sister, someone is coming on the Vooka Breakfast Show and they will be giving out the tips onto starting a business. Definitely you will need those tips. So use the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show by letting people know and share the live. And the next one that we're going to have is Miss Lebo, our community mover and shaker. She will be also joining us right here on our studios, coming in live to speak about the work that she does for the community, because we love people who do community work. We love people who are moving and making sure that people are inspired, motivated, and encouraged to doing good and positive things in our communities. And also, we're going to be chatting on an online call. We're going to be on an online call with Mrs. Kerry Walsh, who is a motivational speaker. Definitely, we all need the motivation for this week. It's Monday. We know that a lot of people are starting their week in a sluggish way. So definitely, Miss Kerry Walsh is someone you will be looking forward to. So yes, stay with us, stay tuned, grab a glass of coffee, cup of coffee, glass of water, or anything that you can drink so that we can enjoy this beautiful day that we are going to have. So yeah, definitely that I'm always not alone right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. I always have my team right here. So joining me on the table is the one and only beautiful Afri Berry. Good morning, ma'am, and how are you doing this morning?
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Yes, your mic is off.
Good morning.
Yes, so there we go.
Good morning, family. How are you? What
do you mean, man? Black is beautiful, man.
I get no, angyal ukuthi ngimnyama ne.
Yeah.
Mara la ekhaya like malala.
They make it worse, man.
Yay! Even when I'm wearing like something super bright, ne?
Yeah.
I am forever black.
Oh shit! Don't worry. We have the best technical teams, man. So in few seconds, she will be light. That is the power of using technology. That is the power of cameras.
I look gorgeous now.
Yeah. They gave you the digital makeup.
Ah,
Yeah.
it's also. Photoshop station.
Digital makeup.
And then nothing. But I hope everybody's feeling fantastic. I hope you guys are doing okay. And you're also looking forward towards the week, right? Because Konalago Vooka Breakfast Show, we'll be having something exciting, something epic that's going to happen and make you guys feel all excited. And this thing that's going to happen this week, it's leading up for next week. So, yeah, Zin Kaizin. I'm not going to reveal much. Mara, all I have to say is don't forget to stay tuned so that you know more about the details, man. And as Mo said, we now also have a WhatsApp line. So don't forget to also send us a text via WhatsApp, call, voice note on 060-493-3226. That's 060-493-3226.
Yeah, definitely. That is the number to get in contact with us so that you can let us know, man, how are you starting this Monday morning, man? And, what are you looking forward ahead of the week? Definitely, we can't wait to get in contact with you because we've been reading your contacts, right? We've been reading your comments, We've been reading your comments and, going through what you guys have been saying by using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. But now it does not only end there. There is more. So, obviously, and to remind you that we are also live on YouTube. What I would like you to do is go to YouTube, and we're also live on Facebook. Go to Facebook. We are Vooka Breakfast Show. I can see there's a comment there from Tumza6. Good morning, Mavuga Amahle. Hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Hashtag Sivugile. Wishing you all a productive week ahead. That's what we do right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. So let me go check, if we've got any people joining us on Facebook. What I would like to do is just to check, because it is very important. Yes, I can see right there. I'm a 2000. Umhlaba 2000 right there joining us. Definitely, I will be with you if you are joining me, and if you are live, do make sure that you share the live with your loved ones, whether it's your friend, your families. We are here for you. I know that some of the people haven't joined right now because it's Monday. We know that Mondays, men, are always so slow, and we need that motivation to get up. Someone out there in the world is sleeping. Look at the time, guys. Right now, you need to wake up, man. You need to wake up, because waking up means you using that hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show and hashtag Sivugile. That's what I like to see. Last week, I loved your engagement. Please do make sure that you keep on doing that, right? As you know that on the show, man, we always start off with discussing some of the headlines that speaks to us as South African citizens on, how we can deal with what is happening. And yes, not me, but of course our government and other institutions that are involved. So when we started the show, man, we were speaking about Cyril Ramaphosa, the president, urging the GNU parties to put citizens first. This is what we were speaking about when the Government of National Unity was formed. We were scared. People were skeptical if these parties were going to work together. They were going to share power equally. It's what we wanted to see. But last week, the DA decided to say, you know what? Our future in the GNU is undecided. So somewhere, somehow, we are going to pull out and leave the GNU. And what does that mean? It means now the coalition that is formed, the cohesiveness that we expected from our government, from our parties, is not happening as it needs to be. So it speaks a lot to the power that each party want to have, the majority of power that each party want to have, because now this has started with the DA not agreeing and opposing the VAT increase, right? So obviously we just need to get more of the details on what is happening so that we can get a broad understanding of what is really going on, because the DA was like, you know what, we're pulling out. Now Cyril Ramaphosa came out and briefed the country that, you know what, we urge you guys to put citizen first. Maybe the reason DA is pulling out is because they put their interest forward before the citizens' interest. But with tension within the government of national unity, President Cyril Ramaphosa has remained calm and focused on keeping the 10-party coalition united. The Democratic Alliance opposes the VAT hike passed in Parliament and is taking the matter to court. It remains to be seen whether two GNU partners can find a way to move forward. This has caused tension with the GNU partners who says DA can't implement the budget it is opposing. Right? Let me repeat that. It says this has caused tension with the GNU partners who says DA can implement the budget it is imposing. So the DA's highest decision-making body hasn't decided on the future of its participation in the GNU. Whether we stay in the GNU or not, that is the matter of FedEx to decide. We had an initial FedEx over the course of Thursday and Friday, but we have not made a decision one way or the other. The FedEx will continue to meet and assess the current situation, said the DA leader John Steenhuisen. And speaking of John Steenhuisen, he released, just a little brief and a statement on Twitter, stating that they do not seek to dominate the government and they fully accept that they do not have a 51% majority. But all that is in what Mr. John Steenhuisen said. So right now I want to share my screen with you and let us all listen to what Mr. John Steenhuisen had to share my screen. Right. Okay. What I'm gonna do right now is to mute this one. Okay, there we go. I think we are good to go now. So there is a John Steenhuisen reporting at the DA's offices.
We don't seek to dominate government. We fully accept that we do not have a 51% majority. But equally so, no other party has 51% in the government of national unity. And that means that parties have to work together. They have to compromise and they have to be allowed to have their voice heard loud and clear within that government. It is not tenable or sustainable to be a part of a government that cuts you out of key decision-making areas, whether that is economic policy, whether it's foreign policy. The government of national unity is not a continuation of the sixth administration. It is a new government, a government that reflects the will of the people and reflects the electoral outcome of last year. And that electoral outcome is that there is no majority party. There are only minority parties, and those parties must work together. Now let me be very clear. We are committed to the government of national unity, and we entered the government of national unity because we think it is the right thing to do for the people of South Africa. But it then has to become a genuine power-sharing relationship. It cannot simply be that one party says to another party that consensus means you agree with everything we put on the table and you don't agree with anything that we don't agree with anything you put on the table.
Yeah, all right. Those were the words of Mr. John Steenhuisen, the leader of the DA, speaking about the need of power sharing because they joined the GNU as they believed that the power that they're going to be shared will be for the people. But now it's not what we are seeing that is happening. Obviously when speaking with the economic, sharing power and also the portfolios that are being spoken about in the parliament and being updated, they see that there's unfairness. We are here in the GNU because we want to see the agreements that we're going to be having as coalition parties working for the South African citizens. Now, if the ANC says, we are going to be looking into, introducing a 0.5% increase in VAT. And then DA says, no, we can't afford to have an increase in our VAT. It is a problem. Now the problem has started. And obviously, when speaking about the future of the DA and the GNU, Ramaphosa says DA can't have its cake and eat it, right? While addressing an ANC caucus on Tuesday, 1st of April, Ramaphosa told party members that he had spoken to the DA leader John Steenhuisen, who asked if the ANC wanted the party to leave the GNU. What seems to please you is that you want to be in government and you also want to be the opposition in government. I said you can't have your cake and eat it, Ramaphosa told the ANC members. So Ramaphosa still maintains that the ANC are leading in the government of national unity. The president added that he informed Steenhuisen that it was the ANC leading in the GNU whether they liked it or not. Now it's a matter of sharing power. Now it's the matter of who's having majority power. I don't know, Afri, what do you think, man, with this whole GNU thing? Now the DA is like, you know what? We want to oppose the 0.5% VAT. And then ANC is like, no, man, we want to see, our country growing and having that inclining, economic growth with this VAT increase.
You know what, right? So for me, I'm sort of like on the DA side for this because we have so many unemployed people, and having the VAT being increased also means that food will also be increased. One thing or something our government chooses to ignore or is seeing but has not found a way to deal with it is that South Africa is slowly going towards starvation.
Yeah.
We have so many people who are working, yet the money they work for cannot sustain them in terms of getting to work and literally also having food on their table.
Yeah.
Transportation is expensive to go to work.
Yeah.
And then you also need to consider the fact that besides buying grocery at home, you also need to have lunch box for the kids. You also need to have your own lunch box that's already packed. And there's always unforeseen circumstances that always crop up. In this day and age, 5,000 is not even enough to sustain a family of 4. What we need for food is basically more than what we earn or what we get. So, I get ANC area. The DA cannot have its cake and also eat it. But then have they also thought about how badly this is going to impact a whole lot of people who are struggling to meet their daily needs?
Yeah.
Even the most sustainable of foods is expensive. Bread. You can't buy bread with 5 rand. Even the bread that you get at shop, right, the one that they make, will roughly cost you around 13 rand or 12 rand.
Yeah.
You can't buy bread with 5 rand. What can a person get that can sustain them with 5 rand? You're increasing the VAT. Are the salaries also going to increase?
Yeah.
Of low-income houses and middle-income houses, are those salaries also going to increase? Because economically, so to speak, whenever they actually increase VAT, the salaries are also supposed to increase. Yet, a salary increase. And then when you find people marching to the streets, they are wrong for marching. It's because you are not doing things by the right thing.
Yeah.
Hafola mogolo wa di minister. Minister ebeluntlwa na ka sloba le ministerial house ababa le main house.
Yeah.
Kante ene king udu shapas tape mo South Africa phela go ste mo South Africa gona ni the main house but no man, they need to cut down on that.
Yeah.
When they don't have lights, our tax money pays for their generator. I want to bas namutakas. Me, I'm sitting in the dark. We have load shedding. Load shedding ya pays. You have houses, fridge ya senyega, TV ya senyega, appliances get spoiled. How am I going to replace that when I can barely afford to even get food?
Yeah.
So for me on this one, when it comes to the D, I'm not a big fan of them. But when it comes to this one, logically, so to speak, economically, so to speak, we can't afford an increase.
Yeah. I mean, Ramaphosa also added that it will be clear whether the DA was part of the GNU or not, depending on the decision they make in the National Assembly. In the end, they have put themselves in a difficult position. That is the word of Cyril Ramaphosa. He added that they had a choice to make when it came to whether they approve of the budget in the National Assembly, that their choice would have consequences. Of course, on Saturday, DA had to come in and respond, to these allegations of them leaving the GNU or not. And what does it mean for them leaving the GNU? Because it's going to be looking like whatever power sharing that the government of national unity is trying to do, it's not working at all. But on Saturday, John Steenhuisen said that the DA is committed to the GNU, but South African citizens were disagreeing with that. So the Democratic Alliance President John Steenhuisen said the party is still and willing to be committed to the government of national unity. He spoke in the Phoenix in eThekwini, KwaZulu-Natal during a party campaign ahead of a municipal by-election. He also alleged that the South African market lost 1 trillion rands after the news that the DA may exit the government of national unity. So this is where we are. So also the leader of Democratic Alliance, he said in eThekwini that the party, in terms of a government of national unity, his assertion came in light of the party's future in the coalition government following its rejection of the budget vote. So tell me what you think, man. Do you think that the reason that the DA wants to leave the GNU is because of what Mr. President is saying, that the ANC, whether you like it or not, will be leading the GNU? Or maybe it's other things. They want to push personal interest because now it's a conflict and they're contradicting themselves in the GNU, So the DA is speaking of power sharing and the ANC is speaking of them leading, but now they formed a coalition that speaks to power sharing and making sure that where they put their members of parliament and their party members, they will serve South African citizens. I just want to hear from you by using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show, or you can let me know by using and sending a voice note on the number 0604933226. 0604933226. That is the number that you can send your voice note and tell me what you think, and also if you want to comment or while you are driving, you are listening, what you can do is to use the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show on YouTube and Facebook. That is where we are streaming live. So I'm just going to leave it there. 10 minutes till we hit the 8 o'clock top of the hour. What we're going to do right now is to take a short break while you guys still process all of the information and the headline discussion that we just had right here on the table. So let us take a short break, and then when we come back, we're going to be getting into a little bit of what has happened in history and significant memories that we need to go through, and also we have your word of the day that we would like to go through with you. So grab a cup of coffee or a glass of water. Stay tuned with us because we've got more to unpack right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. Let me get you prepped with your latest weather update. that was your weather update. I hope you guys are keeping warm wherever that you are, because it's a little bit chilly outside. So what you're gonna do is to always keep you updated when you want to go out, or you can even reach out to us just to give you the weather update of how the weather is looking like outside. 7 minutes till we hit 8 o'clock. You're still watching the Vooka Breakfast Show. My name is Muketi Maimane, and I'm joined here by the one and only Afri Berry here in the studio. So what we need you to do is to use the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show when you join the chat. And also, do not forget that we're going to have a guest joining us here in studio. And speaking of today's guests, they also align with our today's day, which is Monday Motivation. They have all the inspiring stories that they will be sharing with you. We're going to be having a Miss Lebu on our community mover and shaker. If you are someone who loves community works, Miss Lebu is the person that you need to wait for until she joins us right here on the studio, right? And then the next one is going to be Mrs. Beatrice Matlapeng, which she is an entrepreneur. So if you want to be, or you are an inspiring entrepreneur, Mrs. Beatrice will be sharing all of the inspiring journey that she has been through on the world of business. So do make sure that you stay tuned for that one. And also, lastly, speaking about motivation, if you want to be motivated, because it is Monday, we all need that motivation to get our day going. You're going to be having Miss Kerry Walsh on an online call. She is a motivational speaker, so you do not want to miss that out. That's what the Vooka Breakfast Show brings you right here. Energetic start of the day. And right there on YouTube, I have Zinzi Elizabeth. Good morning. Hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. If you just joined in, what I need you to do is to use the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. I can see that people are still sleeping, man, on on Facebook, man. Okay, I can see the Abutiwama 2000. The GNU is a scam. Just let me know, man. That's what I want to know, man, from you guys. All right, what do you think of the GNU? Because Mr. Ramaphosa right now is urging the parties, the GNU, to put the South African citizens back. And now, what does the statement say to you when you think about it? If the president is going to urge, parties to look out for the citizens, it means for all along, they haven't been thinking about the citizens when you think about it. Because you can't be urging, the party. We know why the GNU was formed. That is the reason it was formed. It was formed for the people to put citizens first. Right now, we're having the hashtag Justice for Kwekwe, and parties are quiet about that. So it's something that we should be looking into. That is it really coalition that we expected it to be? Let me know, man. And also, for those who have just joined, please, guys, we have announced that you can also send us a voice note, or you can call us in right now in studio by dialing the number 060-493-3226. It's 060-493-3226. That is the number to dial, or send your voice note onto. Right now, getting on to the top of the business and top of what we have for you today. We know that each and every day we go through what we call significant history memories that have went through, in the past. Even today, there's something that is happening that is going to serve as a significant memory that people are going to remember in the 2077, 2088 that has happened today. But you know that we never miss this one, as we are going to share it with you. And if you have anything to share with us, or some of the things, some of the history moments that you're going to go through, just let us know that regarding what you have went through, Mo, this is what I've picked up and this is what I know. And you have the right to also correct us if we have the wrong information. Yes, we do some fact checks, but definitely the information can also stretch to, horizons that we also can't tap into. So what do we have today in history? So today, an American industrialist, Henry Ford, who revolutionized factory production with his assembly line methods and was the founder of the Ford Motor Company, died at the age of 83 years. Henry Ford, the American industrialist who revolutionized factory production with his assembly line methods and founded the Ford Motor Company, died at the age of 83 on April 7th, 1947. Due to cerebral hemorrhage. Henry Ford, born July the 30th, 1863 in Wayne County, Michigan, in the United States, died on this day, April 7th, on 1947. Dearborn, Michigan. He was an American industrialist who revolutionized factory production with his assembly line method. Right? So we would like to say, Mr. Henry Ford, continue to rest in peace, because your legacy is still continued, man. We're still seeing those beautiful cars, the concept that you have came with, the ideas that you have spawned in that incredible mind of yours, man. Because we know that when we're speaking about the legacy, this is what we're speaking about. Henry Ford's legacy is still on. We have, Ford cars being produced and manufactured till this day. So a very huge shout out to Mr. Ford. And then on the next one, Herbert Hoover demonstrated a one-way video phone in 1927. The first public demonstration of a one-way video phone occurred on April 7th, 1927 between Herbert Hoover, the U.S. Secretary of Commerce in Washington, D.C., and official of the American Telephone and Telegraph Company, AT&T, in New York City, 28 Feb 2025. Right? Herbert Hoover demonstrated a one-way video phone, 1927, 7th of April, this day. And then the last one that I have here, in 1827, on this day, on the 7th of April, the first friction match is sold. So English chemist John Walker produced and sold the first operable matches. They were soon banned in France and Germany because burning fragments would sometimes fall to the floor and start fires. Before the date, Walker's sales book contained an account of no fewer than 250 sales of friction matches. The first entry dated 7 April 1827. Yeah, match. The not the actual match that you're thinking about, but the matches that we see. We know that we are exposed to the brand of Lion matches, right? So in 1827, the first friction match was sold. So definitely this one had to go in the lines and down there in history, right? Definitely that is all that I have for you in today in history. So before I go and continue to the celebrity birthdays that we have here, let me go back to my YouTube. I can see we have a comment coming on right there. Tumza 6 the DA wants to dictate to the ANC on how to do things. And whenever the ANC decides to do things otherwise, the DA threatens to leave the coalition. DA threatened to exit a couple of times. Right, that is, the comment there from Doomsa 6, just letting us know, because it comes from a headline. If you just joined in, Ramaphosa is urging the parties in the GNU to put citizens first. And this comes when the DA said they want to leave the GNU. They are tired of this, not sharing power. Because now DA is opposing the 0.5 VAT increase. So they're like, ANC is not backing off from this, so we are going to leave. So just let us know what you think right there by using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. And then I have Hector Takalane, hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Morning, guys. Happy New Week. All best wishes for this week. Thank you so much, Mr. Hector, and all those wishes back to you. Mr. Hector, because you just joined us, I want to announce to you that with your colleagues, you guys can send us a voice note or call us in right here in studio by dialing the number 060-493-3226. It's 060-493-3226. So I definitely wish all of you guys who have just joined us in a very good week ahead of us, because definitely we're going to be giving you more of what you have right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. And then Tumza 6 coming back again. They threatened to exit the GNU with the implementation of the NHI bill, Bella Bill, Land Expropriation Act, and now they're still singing the same song with the proposed budget. Aye, let them sing. That is what Tumza 6 is saying. And if you have anything to share with me right now, do make sure that you use the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. We are live on YouTube, and also on Facebook. If you know that some of your friends don't have YouTube, you can just let them know about the Facebook. It's Vooka Breakfast Show. So, still continuing, as Mr. Hector was wishing us a happy new week, and all wishes for the best week. We are going through the calendar and number of days that we are into the year. Today is the 97th day of the year, 98 in leap year, right? So, 97th day and 3 days to go until we hit 100 days into the year, and definitely we should be celebrating that, because it is a journey that all of us are traveling. Some of the people couldn't see this day, and we would like to say that some of you who are here, do take care of yourself, and think about the days ahead of you that you will enjoy. So we are left with 269 days left. Hashtag what's that he said. It's a journey. We are there. So all you need to do is just be patient. Soon we'll be hitting the 31st of December. Get in straight into 2026 and do what we do best right here. And then we are left with 38 weeks remaining. So definitely the numbers and the days are counting down, because definitely we also want to see how is the next year will be looking like. Yes, we're still new, and it's still going good this year, but definitely we want to see how the other year will be looking like. 2026, every day someone is born, so definitely, man, it's experiences that we want to share. If something has happened to you over the weekend, share with us, and just share the story, man. That is why we are here. We're here to share the stories of just enjoying the moment of being in the present moment. So heading over to your celebrity birthdays. On the first one we are celebrating Mr. Jackie Chan. Jackie, I can see you dancing there with the karate and the kung fu moves, man.
Did you know Jackie Chan could be long on
Yeah, man, the boy must grow, man.
Is a girl?
Oh, it's a girl. Yeah, I've heard of the story.
Oh my God,
yeah, he's not getting the inheritance, the karate moves inheritance.
Nothing. And I'm like, I thought black parents were brutal, but our Chinese sector couple.
Yeah, man. I mean, yes, that's being a good dad, man. I can attest to that, man. That's being a good dad, because Jackie understood what it takes for someone to work hard for what they have now. And now I'm not going to leave that karate movie.
But Mo, it's because the kid is lesbian.
Oh.
It's not even about, hey, dad send me, man. It's because his daughter is lesbian, my guy.
Wow. I didn't know that, man.
That's how deep it is. And I'm like, and we answering a full confidence, no worries in the world. As old as he is, so the daughter is like a street kid, bruh.
Yeah.
Nah, no pilaga hobo, papa would go Beverly Hills. Hey, it's
guys.
Okay.
And then, before I go through Mr. Hector Takalani, in context to what we were speaking about, Banele, I wonder at what age should parents kick children out of the house? I mean, we shouldn't be using the word kick, because with Jackie Chan, man, you'll never understand whether he kicked the child or, chase them out. We should use the word chase, speaking to Jackie Chan, because, hey, Barry Jackie kicked kicked the child.
And
like, he must get arrested. for doing that, bro.
Because that guy does like almost a huge majority of his stunts in his movies.
Yeah.
He does them by himself.
Yeah.
So if you've seen Jackie Chan movies like back then when he Dragon Master,
Bro.
it's alright fela moloba bonsa khala pizza sofa atamalo tula ing like hey.
Jackie's a legend because I remember here we're having just a discussion over who's the best between Tom Cruise and Jackie Chan. But yes, both they are very good. They're very good with their stunts. But when it comes to Jackie Chan has a background of martial arts, and also learning stunts, developing stunts by himself. So man, he is one of the greatest.
And then also most of his movies are movies that he produced himself.
Yeah.
It's not movies that he called some big top producer to come and produce. Those are movies that he made himself. Some of them actually came out of his own pocket.
Yeah.
So that he can make them there and they can actually appear. So he takes the cup.
Definitely. So, Mr. Jackie Chan is turning 71 years old today. And also, the movie, The Last Karate Kid, The Legend, is going to be airing on the screens. And he is also there, man. As old as he is, as he has turned 71. Yeah, man. Absolutely looking forward. Looking forward to that. He was born on 1954. And then an interesting fact about Jackie Chan is while filming Armor of God, Jackie Chan successfully jumped from a wall to a tree for a stunt. That's how good he is. That is how invested he is on his craft, man. So Jackie Chan, born in Chang Kong Sang in 1954, is a celebrated Hong Kong actor, filmmaker, martial art artist, and a stuntman renowned for his slapstick humor.
Born where?
In Shang Kong Sang. With a film career spanning over 60 years. Chan has appeared in more than 150 films, including iconic works like Drunken Master, The Police Story, Rush Hour, which earned him international fame. He is also a prolific director, singer, philanthropist, a voice actor contributing to projects such as Kung Fu Panda and Mulan. As one of the most influential martial arts artist in cinematic history, Chan boasts accolades like Guinness World Records, fame stars in Hong Kong and Hollywood's Walk of Fame, and an honorary Academy Award. He remains globally admired for his remarkable impact on film, music, and charitable endeavors. That is Jackie Chan. Until today, there are South Africans who still pronounce Jackie Chan's name as Jackie China. It's Jackie Chan. For once, let us correct you.
Okonji once acted in a movie that way he appeared in South Africa, and that man I can.
Which one?
I can't remember the movie, right?
Yeah.
But there's a movie that he shot in SA, and then he acted like he was in the bush, nyana. So if you remember that guy Onadlala Papa Khelindiwe ko Scandal, he was also part of the movie. The movie was shot in Cape Town, actually. I can't remember the title, but there he was like running butt naked in the set.
We will definitely remember that one. Like, I need to know which movie is that one. But definitely, yeah, man, happy birthday to Mr. Jackie Chan. And may his legacy, man, still continue. And we want more movies, even if he's old. He's 71 years old, right? And the next celebrity birthday that I have is Francis Ford Coppola. Francis Ford Coppola, turning 86 years old. Born 1939 on this day. Interesting fact about Mr. Francis, he is a director of Francis Ford Coppola, whose film included the classic of The Godfather Part 2 in 1974, and Apocalypse Now in 1979. Francis, born 7 April, is a legendary American filmmaker and a key figure of the New Hollywood era, celebrated as one of the greatest directors in cinematic history, winner of 5 Academy Awards, 2 Palmes d'Or, or several other prestigious honors. Coppola is renowned for his masterpieces such as The Godfather series, Apocalypse Now, and The Conversation. And then heading on to the second last celebrity birthday, we have Kevin Michael Alejandro. Kevin Michael Alejandro is turning 49 years old today. He was born today, 1976. Interesting fact about him, he is a renowned versatile TV roles, including Southland, True Blood, and Lucifer. Alejandro was born in San Antonio, Texas. Is an accomplished actor and a director known for his diverse roles in television and film. He gained recognition for roles like Jesus Velasquez in True Blood, Sebastian Blood in Brother Blood in Arrow, and Detective Daniel Espinosa in Lucifer, where he also directed several episodes. Alejandro, he appeared in numerous TV shows, including Ugly Betty, Southland, and Parenthood, showcasing his versatility across genres. His film work includes notable appearances in Crossing Over alongside Harrison Ford, Red State, and Casa Daga. As a director, he demonstrated his creative skills through stylized episodes of Lucifer and continues to leave his mark in both Hollywood and independent projects. And the last celebrity birthday we have is John Landrum Cooper. Turning 52 years, was born in 1975. Interesting fact about him, he is the lead vocalist, bassist, and founding member of the Christian rock band Skillet. Mr. John Cooper, born into a strict religious household, is a musician and an author, best known as the founding member and lead vocalist of the Christian rock band Skillet, which he formed in 1996 with a passion for music nurtured by his piano teacher mother. He progressed from singing to mastering guitar and bass. Cooper has also contributed to various projects, including the experimental rock group Seraph, Hero, the rock opera, and his side project Fight the Fury. As an author, he has written books addressing cultural and religious issues, critiquing the deconstruction movement within churches. Cooper remains an advocate for gospel-centered truth and continues to inspire through his music writing and performances. That's all for the celebrity birthdays. And if you know anyone, okay, you have anyone?
Yeah, so I have two. So today it's actually Russell Crowley's birthday. So Russell Crowley is an international actor and is also internationally known for playing the Roman general Maximus in the 2000 historical epic film, The Gladiator, right? And then he's won an Academy Award for Best Actor for that movie. And he's also portrayed the mathematician and Nobel Peace Prize winner John F. Nash in the biopic A Beautiful Mind, which also brought him numerous awards, and today he's turning 61. And then for the last one, we also have Anna Marie. Anna Marie is an English singer who was also known for the very famous feature by Clean Bandit on a song called Rockabye Baby, which was released in 2016 alongside Sean Paul, and she is turning 34 today.
Very good, very good. Those are the last ones that you have?
Yeah. Those are the only ones I have.
To anyone who is growing, if you know anyone who might be growing today, celebrating their birthday, do make sure that you give them a shout out right here using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show.
Sorry, I almost forgot. Today it's also Billie Holiday's birthday.
Billie Holiday.
Yes, remember that we once did a movie review about her where Andrea Day plays Billie Holiday.
Yeah.
So Billie Holiday, as famously nicknamed Lady Day, Holiday had a seminal influence on jazz and pop singing. Her vocal style, strongly inspired by jazz instruments, pioneered a new way of manipulating, praising, and tempo. She was born in 1915 on the 7th of April and died in 1959 at the age of 44 on the 17th of July.
Happy birthday to her, man. Is she still alive?
No, she did.
Oh, ish. Yeah, happy belated. Oh, not happy belated. What do you But anyway, if you want to wish anyone a happy birthday, man, obviously we want to surpass the sound that we have, guys. So what we're gonna do, as much as we have introduced and our WhatsApp number, what I need you to do is if you know anyone who is growing up and you would like to give them a shout out, you can do that so that they can hear you on the other side while they're watching the stream by dialing 060-493-3226. It's 060-493-3226. That is the number that you need to send your voice note or call us and say, you know what, guys, Vooka team, there we go, man. Thank you for bringing in the number. And there's my voice. And I would like to give, a birthday shout out to my loved one, whether it's my friend, whether it's my auntie, my mom, my dad. We are definitely here for you. And then before we move on, I had a comment from Hector Takalane. The sharing power, it's not working. But ANC isn't for the people anymore. The sharing of power, it's not working, but ANC isn't for the people anymore. Right? That was a comment from Hector. And that's all we have for celebrating celebrities' birthday right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. Yeah, and definitely I want us to surpass that sound that I told you. This is the sound.
Happy birthday! Woohoo! Yeah! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hooray! Hip hooray!
Yeah, it's too slow. But imagine if somebody is sending their voice note in, man, and singing a real happy birthday to someone, because this one they are baropa. We also want that one from TikTok. I'm not going to sing it right here, but whoever knows it, they know how beautiful that song is, for singing someone a happy birthday. Yeah, but that's all for today in history. So now we know we always have what we call the word of the day. And we always practice and, just to add on our everyday vocabulary, because people use different words and they want to construct sentences so that they can get, a different variety of meanings on how they, deliver the messages and the meaning to people. Okay. So right now here, I have words with me in which I think they do it on purpose, man, to give me these words because they know my pronunciation. It's Zimbabwe, man. It's giving Zimbabwe. But okay, right here I have words. Right? Yes. Okay. I'm just going to go through the first one. I'm just going to go through the first word. And then other words, of course, we're going to be going through them next day. Right? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Those are the words. I'm not going to go through them. I just have to go through the day for today. Okay. Our word of today is resplendent. Resplendent is our word of the day. Resplendent is spelled as follows. It's RESPLENDENT. Resplendent. And it is an adjective, right? What is the definition of resplendent? Shining brilliantly and gleaming with splendor or beauty, right? That is the definition of resplendent. Shining brilliantly, gleaming with splendor or beauty. And right there at home, how would you use the word resplendent, right? Yeah, I can see that they failed us. Where's the idiom, guys? Where is the idiom? Where is the idiot? Not the idiot, the idiom, right? We know that you always do idioms, but definitely Musi will be here joining us and is going to be giving us the idiom of resplendent. How would you use resplendent, as an idiom? But resplendent is our word of the day. And the definition for resplendent is shining brilliantly, gleaming with splendor or beauty. If you're watching right now, just let me know, man, right there on the comment section. Or if you want, you can send me a voice note and just let me know how would you use resplendent, in your sentence, just to make your day, filled with inspiring words. Because definitely for this word is good for a Monday motivation. Shining brilliantly, gleaming with splendor or beauty. May this week shine brilliantly on you and gleaming beaming with splendor and beauty is what you should be looking forward to ahead in this week. Definitely, that is where we are going, to end our word of the day. So just to cool it off, and since you're still processing the word resplendent, I'm just going to give you some time and construct sentences and send them through on our comment section while we're taking a short break. And when we come back, definitely we are going to be looking through Monday motivation and the guests that we're going to be having right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. But as of right now, it's 22 minutes past 8, past the top of the hour. We're going to be giving you a recap of your news headlines, sports headlines, and also your traffic update to keep you safe on those roads. So let us take a short break. When we come back, we continue with what we call the energetic start of the day with a daily dose of positivity. All right, once again, here is your recap of your news headline. Starting off with the first headline, Ramaphosa urges GNU parties to put citizens first. Tension high in the government of national unity as President Cyril Ramaphosa works to keep the 10-party coalition united. The Democratic Alliance opposes the VAT hike and is taking a legal action, causing friction with GNU partners. The DA's leadership has yet to decide on its future in the coalition, with discussion ongoing. Ramaphosa emphasizes prioritizing South Africans' interest. On the second headline, Justice for Cwecwe, outrage as 2 other rape cases come to light. South Africa continues to grapple with gender-based violence and child abuse. The rape of 7-year-old Cwecwe at her school in the Eastern Cape has caused outrage alongside similar cases involving 2 other pupils in Matatiele. Poor police investigations have further compounded the suffering of victims and their families. On the other headline, twists and turns in the Lombardy East alleged kidnapping case. The Lombardy East human trafficking case has taken a disturbing turn. Families of 3 minors claim they were kidnapped, tortured, and sent back to their alleged captors after a court appearance. Allegations suggest police involvement in the illegal operation. The kidnappers, reportedly of Ethiopian origin, are extorting money from families, with one demanding 85,000 rand under a threat to a victim's life. The next headline, I will not be deterred. Those are the words of Dean McPherson after receiving death threats. The minister is investigating corruption in his department, focusing on an 800 million rand tender for hospital oxygen infrastructure. Two companies lacked regulatory approval and the ghost company received 428 million rands. Missing documents and poor procurement procedures have raised concerns. Despite death threats, McPherson remains committed to fighting corruption and cleaning up the department. That's all for your news headlines. Now heading over to your sports news recap. Starting on with the football news. Galaxy strike late to hold Kaizer Chiefs. TS Galaxy salvaged a 1-1 draw against Kaizer Chiefs in the Betway Premiership with Mlungisi Mbunjana scoring in the 81st minute. Chiefs had taken the lead in the first half through Wandile Duba but failed to hold on. The result extended Chiefs' winless streak to 4 matches, leaving them 8th on the log. Galaxy climbed to third, though Stellenbosch has played 3 fewer games. Chiefs now turn their focus to the Nedbank Cup semi-finals against Mamelodi Sundowns, while Galaxy's next league match is on 20th of April against Makesi FC. On the next headline, Liverpool's rare loss delays title match. Southampton is relegated. Liverpool 3-2 loss to Fulham marked only their second Premier League defeat this season, but delayed the title match, needing 11 points to secure a record equaling 20th title. Despite their strong campaign under Ancelotti, the Reds show signs of fatigue after competing in the multiple tournaments. Arsenal 1-1 draw at Everton's leaves them far behind Liverpool. Southampton's 3-1 defeat to Tottenham sealed the record-setting relegation with 7 games remaining, becoming the first team to face this fate so early in the season. The next headline, Chelsea in talks with UEFA over potential breach of financial regulations. Chelsea opened talks with UEFA over financial results for June 2024. Despite posting £121.4 million pre-tax profit, questions arose around a £200 million valuation to their women's team, which UEFA and the Premier League have yet to approve. UEFA's FFP rules exclude related party transactions such as hotel sales or women's team valuation. Chelsea spent £553 million on a player purchase while earning £208 million from sales. They must address these complexities to comply with FFP regulation, which allows a £200 million loss over 3 years while managing ambitious spending and restructuring efforts. Heading over to your rugby news, Blitzbokke go 2 from 2 on final day in Singapore to finish with a flourish. The Blitzbokke secured 3 wins from 4 matches, including impressive victories over Argentina and Australia, despite a pool stage loss to Great Britain after Sebastian Jobs' red card. They beat the USA 14-12 in the 9th place semi-final with tries from Zenda Reinders and Ricardo Duarte, whose late penalty secured the win. Against Australia, early tries from Tristan Lades and resilience during Siviwe Soizwapi's yellow card helped the Blitzbokke dominate 24-5. Selvin Davids added a 4th try with Duarte sealing the match through a decisive ruck penalty. That's all for now. Stay tuned for more sports and news updated throughout the show. Don't forget to share your thoughts on these headlines with us on social media using hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show and send us your voice note on 060-493-3226. Now let's head over to your latest traffic update to keep you safe on your roads.
Well, yeah, Chocolate Blossom made me. Yes.
Wow!
Right, once again, let's keep you safe on those roads. Here's your latest traffic update. We have a stationary vehicle on N1 southbound after Proof Plus interchange on the ramp from the N4. One of the 6 lanes is currently closed, which may cause delays for motorists traveling through the area. On the next one, traffic alert on N1 southbound Pretoria Main Road after the ramp from Olifants Fontaine Road R562. Emergency lane is blocked, which could slow down traffic flow in the area. On On the last one, police and military presence on N1 northbound western bypass at the ramp to N12 southern bypass. One of 6 lanes is closed, which may affect traffic flow in the area. That's all for now. Let's get into your today's morning epic show. So if you have, what you need to do is to use the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show on YouTube and Facebook.
Friends, come along with the Vooka team as time is spent
at the Vision Board and Pizza event out at Curiosity in Maboneng,
aimed at promoting positivity, creativity that breeds longevity.
Enjoy tasks like silent reading,
vision boarding, and live performances.
Vooka Breakfast Show brings you all things great and amazing with Sacred Sundays
in collaboration with Mwari Pizza for Vision Board and Pizza.
My name is Moketi Maimane.
Catch us every weekday morning, Monday to Friday between 7 and 10.
Right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blinko Network.
Always bringing you the best content possible.
Vooka Nati, wake up with us and kickstart your day on a great note.
This is your energetic start to the day.
Right, that was your news, sports, and traffic headline recap right there. So let us know on what you have picked up on the news headlines, news, sports headlines, and also your traffic headline right there by using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Definitely what I need you to do is to look out for the Facebook and also YouTube. Right. So what I need you to do is also, if you want to communicate with us using the number 0604933226, 0604933226. Before the break, we were going through some of the historical moments that have taken place in our lifetime and also still going to be taking place. It's something that are being recorded and we will go through them as time goes on. It's 1976, 1990, not 19, man. 2096 and 2076. Definitely that's what history will do to you. You're going to feel like you need to go back. But yeah, as promised, we still have guests on the line that are going to be joining us right here in the studio. And what I need you to do is just to stay tuned and obviously fix those questions that you need to ask, because it's some of the questions that will definitely help you. And on the line we have Mrs. Beatrice Matlapeng, who will be joining us. She is an entrepreneur. So if you are an aspiring entrepreneur and you would like to know more about business, how to maintain and sustain your business so that it can grow into greater heights that you need it to, what you can do is to stay tuned, because she will be joining us as she's still on her way as Mr. Beatrice Matlapeng. And also Ms. Lebo will also be joining us. She is a community mover and shaker. Definitely, if you are in love with the works of the community, Ms. Lebo is someone that you need to stay tuned for, as questions need to be asked, as she will be here sharing, some of the journey that she has been through doing community works. And also, we're going to be having Mrs. Kerry Walsh as a motivational speaker online. We will be joining, she will be joining us through online and having the conversation and also getting that motivation, because it is a Monday motivation. Definitely ahead of this week, we need some of the, words of affirmation to get us going and keep us on a positive note. Yes, definitely speaking of a positive note and sharing as much as we can right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. My name is Moketi Maimane, and joining me here are my team, the Vooka Breakfast Show team. On the table is Afriberry and the one and only Musi.
Hey, Mr. Mo.
How are you doing, man, on this Monday? I am very good, man. Looking forward.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
There we go. Get up, smell the coffee, and get going. It is a brand new day, and thus it also marks the start of a brand new weekend. This is an opportunity and another chance for you and I to try and fulfill all our dreams and chase our dreams and absolutely try and chase those goals and fulfill them with all that we can. Good morning. To what really promises to be your favorite rendezvous every weekday morning, Monday to Friday. We will always be taking such good care of you right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blinko Network. And of course, you'll always be hanging out with me, the one and only MOOCEE Mister. My name is Musi Mister. And look, man, I always say that I couldn't be happier to be in your presence. I hope and I trust that you've been having an amazing morning thus far, and that you'll keep watching and interact and communicate and share all your thoughts and opinions and everything else in between. And how you can do that is, of course, by using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show across all our social media platforms. That's Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Bona, everywhere. In fact, you can find us. And the time right about now is 37 minutes past the hour, 8 o'clock on a Monday morning, the 7th of April. And look, man, I'm looking forward to such an amazing week where you and I will interact and get to know each other a whole lot better. Exciting news.
Yeah.
We have a WhatsApp line.
Yes, man.
I said it last week Tuesday that I promise you very soon we're going to have a WhatsApp line, and we have that. Mo has been sharing it with you throughout the entire morning since we've started, and I hope you'll make use of it. It's not just for for decoration or no, man. You need to use this line, and the number to dial is 0604-933-226. That's 0604-933-3226. Comment, like, subscribe, and do the things that are necessary to be done. Yes, sir.
Yeah, definitely. When speaking about doing the necessary things to be done, our guest just arrived here. Miss Lebu just got in, and definitely we can't wait to be in conversation with her as she's going to be sharing more of the community work that she has done. So what I want us to do, as they're still preparing her, we just are going to go through, what she has done. So I just wanted to, name out some of the social media platforms that you can get her before she comes in. Of course, she is going to share with you, but some of the people can get them while they're still here. Maybe you're busy, you will be moving to, somewhere and get busy. So right here with me, the information that I have with the lady who's going to be joining us right here on studio is her name is Miss Lebu, the founder of Lebu Joy Foundation, and the website is www.lebujoyfoundation.co.za. Facebook page, it's Lebu Joy Foundation. TikTok, Lebu Joy Foundation. Instagram is Lebu Joy Foundation. So let's go to a quick break, and then after the break she will be joining us right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. So stay tuned, do not go anywhere, do not nyakaza.
Musi Mist.
My name is Moketi Maimane.
Catch us every weekday morning, Monday to Friday, between 7 and 10.
Right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blinko Network.
Always bringing you the best content possible.
Vooka Nati, wake up with us and kickstart your day on a great note.
This is your energetic start to the day.
Vooka Breakfast Show.
We're out here in the heart of Soweto, Top Santon. This is right next to Zondi Hills, and just before you get to Broad Fisher Club. I'm out here. My name is Musi Mist. I'm out here with the one and only maximum temperature. TC Shabalala Wakamazibugo, and of course our station manager, the one and only Manele Lyric. And we're traveling out here, man. This is what we do on the Vooka Breakfast Show.
Yeah, you gotta get it fresh.
We are fresh and nice. Now it's time to take the information to the people.
Of course, like Mo just mentioned, you stay tuned, comment, like, subscribe, share your thoughts and your opinions and everything else in between. We're going to be coming to a street to do live near you, wanting to know what your thoughts are out there on the street.
Of course, we've got TCO with the traffic update. Right now, we are going to N1 southbound to make sure that whatever that you guys get, it is real-time information. So looking at Mukhorosi, we have robots that are not working right here, but the traffic is moving. We're going to look at when is your rush hour time, when people are from the work or from school, right? I'm gonna give you your daily update. So do make sure that you stay with us. Mobile Vooka Breakfast Show.
Look, one, and you've just breakfast show brought to you by the Blink Network. This is, of course, the Vooka Breakfast Show. Hang out with me, the one and only MOOCEE. Mister, you know that I'm not alone, and I'll never be alone. And I'm always hanging out with the best team ever, man. With the one and only maximum temperature, Mweketi, my man, son of Mother Nature, and seated right next to me, like Mweketi told you before the break, we're going to be joined by an amazing person who's doing amazing stuff in and around our communities. And you know, this is what we do on a daily basis, right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. We bring you people that we feel and we believe and we absolutely trust that are relevant and people who are doing amazing stuff. And this morning is no exception whatsoever. Like Mo said, if you have any questions that you would like to share, or you have opinions and queries and answers and everything else in between, the number to dial is 060-493-3226. That's 060-493-3226. Comment, like, subscribe, and do the things that are necessary to be done so that you and I and Mo and the rest of the team right here in studio can share our thoughts and everything else in between. So without further ado, Mo, I'm excited for this one.
I'm excited, man.
I'm excited.
I mean, doing community work is something that we are always looking forward to, and having guests right here in the studio, you know, is something that we always want to do and get the information out there to the people so that they can learn.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we're joined right now, live right here from the heart of Soweto, Top Center, right next to Zondi Hills, just before you get to Provincial Kloof. We are joined in studio by Miss Lebo. And I'm excited. I can't wait to find out all the things that she's involved in. You know, from hearing the few things that you've mentioned more, I'm already looking forward to it. And you know that, we always try and have such an amazing time in studio. So, Miss Levi, welcome. Welcome. We are really excited and we really appreciate you to come and hang out with us. You know, we don't take it for granted. Yeah. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. Miss Lebu Kemang, what does she do, and how do you eventually find yourself being someone who's so involved in community work?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, my name is Lebo.
Yeah,
I was born in Botswana.
Okay,
there we go. Very closely to the mic. There we go.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
as I said, my name is Lebo.
Yeah.
I was born in Botswana, but grew up in Northwest.
Oh, Kozirasti.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I see you.
Yes. So, growing up in a village, it was a bit tough because things were a bit difficult. So, I will start with the sanitary toiletry bags. Growing up, it was a bit tough. And when I reached puberty, it was quite a hectic one because, I couldn't share that with my mom. So it was a bit hectic. So after some time, I think that's where I told her that, hey, I'm going on my cycles. Then she used to buy me pads, but it was not that enough for me. So at schools, like other girls, the friends, they were like, hey, how about, because your mom only buy one pack and that pack have to last you for 2 months. How about you find a boyfriend so that the boyfriend can maybe buy you something? So you see, then I was like, I don't like this. So after matric, I came that side to Johannesburg. So when I was going around, I see small girls going with boys. I was like, that thing that my friends used to tell me. So which means there's small girls, they are doing the same. So that's why I was like, I must do something with us. So that's why I did the sanitary toiletry bags for the young girls in school. Then when I was staying in, I can't remember well. Yeah. So I was staying in a commune, I think it was in Rivonia. I was staying in Rivonia. So I was staying in a commune with this beautiful lady. She was staying with the husband, and the husband was abusing her like nobody's business. So that thing it didn't went well with me. So I was like, I need to help her to do something for herself.
Yeah.
You see, so that's why I started doing some small courses, training, so that I can help ladies. So yeah, that's where actually it started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in terms of helping, we know Hore, it's things that sometimes a lot of people get inspired by the parents. Hore, the reason I help is because I've seen it from my dad, from my mom doing it, and Lena, I would like to do it because now the problems still on Lena, I'm now seeing them. So let's take it back and track it back to when you grew up. How was your childhood? Hanohola.
It was a bit difficult because I couldn't share anything with my mom. Yeah.
So like nothing at all in terms of what you were going through. Why was that though?
Like my mom was a very strict woman, and you couldn't share. Because even when I started my circle, she used to say, when you start this, which means you are seeing boys. So like I was so scared. Like I'm not seeing any boy, but why this is coming, you see. So it was so difficult for me.
Yeah, I would, understand from your point of view because sometimes it's things like this that lead us to not be the same as our parents because now you are seeing the same child who has the same struggle as you are, and now and you have the better knowledge of helping them. So in terms of studying the work, when did you realize, or you know what, I can be someone who can play a huge role in the community and inspire, community members, at large. So how did you notice that?
I noticed that. You mean hand skills?
No, in terms of working and feeling, what, this is something very vital that I should go to because I don't want young girls. That happened to you too. Okay, so was it a thing you were inspired by your life experiences?
Yes.
Or is it something you just stumbled upon?
No, something that I experienced.
Yes.
Because right now I'm like, if ever the kids are coming across what I have experienced, it's better for me to go to school and teach them. You see, some kids, they are staying with their daddies, so they don't have a chance to know about this. So as we come and we teach them all these things, and we give them the sanitary bags.
So take us through the Lebu Joy Foundation. How did it start? What do you guys do there, and what's the vision and the mission of Lebu Joy Foundation?
Okay, Lebu Joy Foundation started in 2022. Yes, it is registered, and we helping young girls in school. We also helping women. We empowering women with hand skills. Yes, but most important, we are focusing to empower women. Yes, so yes, we're doing hand skills like nail technicians, soap production, candle making, baking, flower arrangement, and decor.
Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. More, I love how I love people who give back to our communities.
Definitely.
And I always say this, that we always absolutely need more people who are giving back to young girls, because we know that we're living in a very, backward society these days. We're not giving these young girls and these young boys the totally right. They will empower them and grow them to be very
independent.
Yes, independent adults in society. You understand? So, Oslebo, now you're doing all of this work. Did you now, growing up, did you go to school for any of the things that you're doing, or is it something that you feel like and you developed it as you were getting older?
I did the courses for all of them.
Oh wow!
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And where did you study for all of the things that you're doing?
It was different schools.
Yeah.
Yes, all of them.
Oh, so you went to different schools
Yes.
and did those courses?
Yes.
Wow.
So that I can like groom young women.
Like I can just imagine the challenges that you had, and also it speaks about the patience that you have for this work. So can you please take us through, Hore? You know, what did you study first, and so okay, you went to the school and studied this. You went to the school and studied this.
Okay. I started with deco because I love doing deco.
Oh, wow.
So I started doing deco. Then I did flower arrangements.
Wow.
Then I did nails technician. Then after nail technicians, like when I was doing deco, I was like, oh, I want to be a deco stylist.
So they come by.
Then when you do deco, you see, wow. People who are doing deco, they also do flowers. It's beautiful when you like. Then I did that. Then when I was done with that, I was like, oh, like when you did this, you must also do a small gift bag. Then I said, oh, soaps will do. You see. Then after doing the soap, then I did the candles also. You know, when it's funerals, they always put. Yeah, that's why I did the candles. Then I did a chef and baking again to do some cakes and all.
Wow. Very interesting. Someone who's done so many things, and look at how beautifully they are tying into one another more. I love that so much. So, how does one there's a young girl Oshebeleting and is loving all the things they Oslebo Adibuang. How do I get involved? How do I reach out? Where do I go? And do I need to have studied something myself? Or I want to be part of Lebu's Joy Foundation? And how do we get involved in general?
Okay, we welcome everyone actually. So when you come, we teach you. Our job is to groom young ones. Yes. We don't need any certificate. You just come as you are, then we will teach you everything. And we also give certificates.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Actually, we want to groom them so that they can stand for themselves. Yeah, we don't want young women to rely on their boyfriends or on their men. We want them to rely on themselves. Yes.
Yeah. It's a nice thing that you're doing, because society has treated that as as a norm, because we are seeing it in social media where young girls they're actually pushing each other to the stage or no, you need a man.
Yeah, you need a man who will take care of you. So with the experience that I had again with a friend who was so abusive, I mean who the husband was abusive to her. So that's one thing that pushed me to say, no. You can stand for yourself. And do something with your life.
So for someone who doesn't know Hore Lebo Foundation is, are you guys an NPO or?
Yes, we are NPO. Well registered.
Oh, nice.
So in terms of reaching out, have you guys reached out and spoken to, government initiatives in terms of funding you guys and working together with government to, to help this scourge of young girls falling into the trap of scavengers who are out there that leaking into their lives? Have you guys reached out to government for assistance?
Yes, we did. So
is it still in the pipeline? Is
still in the pipeline?
We're still working towards it. Yeah.
We are still in the progress.
Yeah. So if I may ask, how old is the foundation? When was it? 2022, ne?
Yeah, 2022.
So in this 3 years, what challenges have you guys faced, and how did you overcome those challenges?
The challenges that we've been facing, I would say it's financially, because I've been doing everything from my
out of your pocket.
Yes. So if we can just get some
some assistance, of course.
But assistance, we will go far. We will be able to help more.
Yeah.
Because right now we're only doing workshops, but we are willing to do like training that will maybe take 6 months. The program that will take maybe 6 months for the young ones to learn more. Yeah.
So, but besides financial, struggles and things of that sort, can you challenge that you feel happy that you would say, you know what, if a Musi would come in, I would need him to help with this, and maybe there's some of the girls that come in and want to be part of the program, or like, is there any other major challenges? You know what, we really need assistance. Besides, of course, because right, yeah.
Okay. Other challenges that we faced, I think, is I would say the places maybe. Yeah, like accommodation. Yeah, where we can just come together and groom the ladies. Yeah, because every time when we have to do something, we have to hire a place.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so we don't have our own place.
Oh, I see.
Where you guys are based in
Yeah, we only have an office, but we don't have a space to train
run the programs and things of that sort. Very, very cool stuff. We're hanging out with Miss Lebo from Lebo Joy Foundation, and she's sharing her story as to some of the things that she's involved in, like handing out sanitary towels to young girls in schools, because we know that it is an always ongoing struggle that you and I cannot help more and help enough. And she's really wanting you to reach out and offer a helping hand wherever you can. And like you've heard from her right here, she's saying that some of the struggles that she's facing is finding proper accommodation where she can be fully situated and permanently situated, so that she can give back and do all and run all these programs that she is running. So with that being said, you can of course share your comments, your opinions, and everything else in between using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show across all our social media platforms. If perhaps you also have some questions for her, we'd love for you to reach out and throw those our way. And you can use that using the WhatsApp line and send a voice note. Like I told you, that I can't wait, or we can't wait to hear your voices finally. And the number to dial for WhatsApp is 060-493-3226. So that's 060-493-3226. Yes, sir.
Yeah, definitely. We can't wait to hear from you. So, Miss Lebo, have you guys, since I am hearing Hore, you are assisting girls mostly, do you also reach out to young boys?
Yes, we do.
And what challenges have you faced, reaching out to young boys?
We never faced any challenge. God
Wow.
was great.
Oh,
Truly
wow.
speaking, yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, God was great. Like everything that we did, it went well.
Yeah.
Because
Because we know that sometimes when working with, boys and girls in communities, we know that there are certain, problems and challenges that we face. So since you guys have not faced any challenges, and we will never promise, Hore, maybe there will never be a challenge. So how do you guys ensure that you prevent those challenges from happening? Do you guys, have ways to prevent those challenges? Because as a young boy, I know that when you grow up, sometimes certain influences can get into your life. Maybe I see my friends, they start to smoke, they're drinking, they're partying out. And now, yes, I'm in the foundation, but now the life that's outside, it seems more nicer. How do you guys ensure, Hore, the boys who are in the foundation, they don't fall into the steps of, falling into the toxic environment?
teaching them the word of God.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's what we do.
Yeah, most of the time.
Most of the time.
Interesting, man. Because I think we have seen a lot of people in organizations in general, they have been saying that the challenges that they have with dealing with boys is they fall easily into these influences outside. And by what you guys are doing, it's very good. It's very good, and we would like that kind of leadership to continue. But now, in terms of relationship with community members, because Horebanaba, they have parents.
Yes.
How do
Guardians,
you then, how do you then guys build a relationship with those parents?
Normally we go to the schools. Yes, we do. We just work with the schools.
Yeah.
And when coming to communities, it's when we do when we empower young women, and then we work with the community centers. So we never experience where we have to deal with parents and the kids.
Oh. So the schools play somewhat of a I don't want to say the word mediator, but they form a relationship with you and the parents.
Yes.
I see you. Very, very cool stuff. If you're wondering what is the Lebo Joy Foundation, they say here they give hope to the hopeless, and their foundation is dedicated to shattering silence surrounding of poverty, empowering women economically, GPV, and making a positive impact on the lives of the underprivileged families. And their efforts of having been successful due to the generosity of individuals and organizations that share the vision or the same vision that they have. Some of the things they say is that they are committed to helping the families with groceries, helping young ladies and girls with sanitary towels, like we mentioned, and empowering young women with hand skills, like you heard for yourself. Oslebo and her foundation help these young girls to try and stand for themselves, especially when going into the workforce and just in general as an adult in society, knowing how to use your hand and trying to provide for yourself. And the last thing that they say here is that they are really, really, really adamant about fighting against the GBV in and around our community. So we always appreciate and we love having people like Bo Oslebo who are giving back and doing such amazing stuff in our communities. We can never have enough people like herself. So, with that being said, Oslebo, on social media, is there a way that we can reach you? Is there a WhatsApp line? Is there a phone number? How can one who's listening and watching out there reach out to you and get in touch with you?
Yes, we have WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And we have Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Yes, sir.
And
yes,
our website as well.
Yes, your website. So on social media, what do I type when I want to look for you and reach out to you?
Lebo Joy Foundation.
Yeah. Lebo Joy Foundation across all the social media platforms.
Yes.
And the website is?
www.lebojoyfoundation.co.za.
Oh, nice one. The WhatsApp line, if you don't mind.
Okay, it's 078 363 4153.
One more time, please.
078 363 4153.
Yeah. Definitely, they will reach out on. For someone who is listening and you missed out on those socials, the website for the foundation is www.lebojoyfoundation.co.za. Facebook page is Lebo Joy Foundation. TikTok, Lebo Joy Foundation. Instagram is also Lebo Joy Foundation. Before we let you go, Miss Lebo, what advice would you give to someone who is starting out, in community development or the related fields that you do?
So I'm Musi, I'm watching out there and I'm loving Dilote Oslebo Ajetang. And I want to do the same thing. Or so I want to start out, but I don't know where to go. I don't know who to talk to. I don't know what to look for. Like I search on internet how advise okay, Musi, if you want to be involved in community work and you want to give back, these are some of the steps that you can follow. Or maybe what are some of those things?
Okay, I will say it's more advisable to do trainings.
Yeah.
Just do small, short training, short courses.
Yeah.
Then be involved in other foundations actually and learn.
Yeah.
Yes.
Miss Lebo, thank you so much for taking your time and being here with us on the Vooka Breakfast Show. We hope that you're going to be joining us, just to give us an update. How's the foundation going? And, for if people want to come in and know more, you will be here to share that information with them.
Thank you.
Very, very cool stuff. This is what we do on a day-to-day basis, especially on Monday mornings, where we bring you people like Miss Lebo who are running a foundation called the Lebo Joy Foundation, giving back to our communities and doing such amazing work in and around our communities. Of course, the conversation does not end here just because she's leaving the studio. You can always reach out to us and ask any questions and queries, opinions, answers, and everything else in between. And of course, you can also reach out to her. You know that she gave us the number you can reach out to. And of course, across all their social media platforms, they go by Lebo Joy Foundation. Such amazing stuff, and we really appreciate this, Lebo. and we appreciate the time we and share some of the things that you're doing, and we can't wait to see what more you have to offer. Liteng, is there anything else that we are looking forward to, or maybe in a month, Joy Foundation? Is there anything like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like this month, we are going to donate a grocery in Zanspruit.
Oh, I see.
Honeydew.
Yes.
Yes. Last month, yeah, other sharks, they were brain. So we go in there to help them.
To help out and assist.
Yeah.
Such amazing stuff. You heard it for yourself. Yes, Mo.
Yeah, definitely. That was Miss Lebu from the Lebu Foundation. Right. What we're going to do right now is to take a short break because Miss Kerry is now online, and that is a conversation we're going to have with her after coming from a break. So Kerry Walsh, a dynamic motivational speaker, accessibility activist, and author, defied odds after being diagnosed with a spinal muscular atrophy at 1 year old. It is a conversation we're going to be getting into after the break, so please do make sure that you stay tuned.
Friends, come along with the Vooka team as time is spent
at the Vision Board and Pizza event out at Curiosity in Maboning,
aimed at promoting positivity, creativity that breeds longevity.
Enjoy tasks like silent reading,
vision boarding, and live performances.
Vooka Breakfast Show brings you all things great and amazing with Sacred Sundays
in collaboration with Mwari Pizza for Vision Board and Pizza.
Well, yeah, Super Blossom made me. Yes.
Wow. Hey family.
Hi.
My name is Tisiga Mazbugo Shabalala.
My name is Moketi Maimane.
My name is Musi Miss.
My name is Ketumguni
on the Vooka
Breakfast Show.
Every weekdays from 7 a.m.
to 10 a.m.
This is where we are going to have our topical discussion featuring various aspects from different fields.
We're going to take care of you and it's going to be amazing, man. Right now I'm on the set of the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blink-On Network.
Do not forget to subscribe.
That's Vooka Breakfast Show on Facebook and all other social media platforms.
Vooka.
See you there.
8 minutes past 9, you're still watching the Vooka Breakfast Show. My name is Mogedi Maimane, and that was a conversation we just had with Miss Lebu, a community mover and shaker. If you still have some question, what you need to do is to use the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. We are live on YouTube and we are live on Facebook. And if you want to reach out using our WhatsApp number by sending your voice note, the number to dial is 060-493-3223. It's 060-493-3223. Oh, 26. I'm seeing so many numbers here. Oh, it's 060-493-3226. That's the correct number that you need to reach out to us. So, right now on line, we have Miss Kerry Walsh, a motivational speaker. And before the break, I just went through what she does just to get a little bit of a background information. Let me go through the information again. So, Kerry Walsh, a dynamic motivational speaker, accessibility activist, and author, defied odds after being diagnosed with a spinal muscular atrophy at 1 year old. She is joining us now live. So what I want to do is just to confirm if Mrs. Kerry can hear us from the other side. Can you hear us, Miss Kerry? Oh, yes, we can hear you clearly. Thank you so much for joining us right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so starting off with, the conversation and your background information for someone who is watching and listening right now. Can you please take them through who is Kerry Walsh and what do you do?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Kerry Walsh. I was born with a rare disease called spinal muscular atrophy. And around the age of 1 is when I was diagnosed. And then I was given the life expectancy of 5 years old. With that, you're often not really aware of what's going on and what your disease means. So I was kind of just sent home and told to just enjoy, my parents were told to enjoy the time they had with me. And we sort of made the most of the moments we had, and then slowly realized that we were beating the years because I'm now 27. And we just decided to make the most of it. We live every day to the fullest, and I'm just sort of taking it one day at a time.
Yeah.
Then when I matriculated, I decided to do something with my platform and my story because I feel that everyone has a purpose with their story. So I started motivational speaking and I started in schools, and now I do businesses, team buildings, keynote speaking, pretty much anyone that's willing to listen to me speak.
Yeah. Very, very inspirational. And so before we get, deep into the work that you have been doing, can you please, let us know, for someone who is listening and watching, what is spinal muscular atrophy?
So spinal muscular atrophy is a degenerative muscle disorder. So as you get older, your muscles slowly deteriorate. So I often use the example of when I was younger, I could put my arms above my head, and now I can kind of only move from like my elbows downwards. So you have full sensation of your body. It's just as you get older, your muscles get weaker and weaker. And it's always interesting to find out where you have lots of muscles that you may not even think about. So like your mouth and your teeth, so like eating gets harder, my eyes will get weaker, and then the most common one is that your lungs get weaker and therefore you stop being able to breathe on your own.
Very, very, very interesting stuff. And look, man, I feel like you've beaten the odds. To have been given that you at 5 years was your life expectancy, and like finding yourself being 27 years old now. Sheesh, man, that's very interesting. And I'm seeing here that you started advocating and reaching out and trying to do all of this work at the age of 17, right? So how do you feel that all of this and all of these things that you've gone through have shaped your life and formed, where you are right now and the person that you are now as an adult?
A lot of my story and perspective is definitely from lived experience, and you can only sort of share what you know and share what you've lived through. So I often think that I can only share and speak because I've experienced it, and therefore I'm grateful for the experiences that I've had. And you just have to take advantage of them being a learning moment and something that you can use going forward. I definitely only ever want to speak from a personal experience. I never want to pretend that I know everything about what it's like to live with a disability in this country. That's a very individual situation, and it's definitely based on everyone's perspective. I mean, even with SMA, no SMA patient lives exactly the same experience.
So have you found that throughout your journey that these other people who are living with the same condition that you have reached out to you, or other people even outside of the space that you are involved in have reached out and said, you know what, Kerry, you're doing such amazing work and I'd love to get involved, and I was inspired by your story to also go out there and try to reach out and help out wherever I can. Have you found that that's something that's happened?
I definitely think I tend to connect with a lot of young individuals, especially women or girls. And I think it's just because they're looking for someone who has lived a similar experience. And I had a couple of people reach out just basically wanting to talk. They don't necessarily want advice, but they also just want to feel heard, and they want to know that someone wants to listen to them. But I also think with joining the rare diseases community, you meet a lot of people who are dealing with a very similar situation. Any sort of rare disease is very unknown and uncommon. And with that, I think we have a commonality and a connection that we all sort of can live through together.
Yeah. And you spoke of, starting to advocate for accessibility and disability awareness. I just want to ask, what inspired you to start that, at an early age of 17 years old?
Everybody wants to feel welcome and connected, and they want to feel that they have a place in this world. And when you go places and you can't get in the front door, you never feel that you have a place, and you don't feel like you're welcome in those places. So I took it as my responsibility to be the change I wanted to see and enforce the change of making it an accessible place where everybody feels they have a place that they can go and feel welcome.
Yeah. So, in communities that are mostly inspired by change, what role do you think change plays in one's life?
I think change has the biggest role to play because if we don't change, we don't develop. If we don't change, we don't grow. If we don't change, we don't learn. And life's all about learning and changing. And I know for a fact that I've never been a big fan of change because I like consistency.
Yeah.
But I've also
Yeah.
then learned that if I don't get on board with the change, I'm not going to learn and grow. And therefore, the consistency is actually just you being stuck.
Yeah.
Very, very cool stuff. I'm seeing here that, my producer is telling me that some of the things that you're involved in is the K Motivation SA. So for someone who's not aware of, who Carrie Walsh is and how she's involved with the K Motivation, what is the K Motivation SA?
K Motivation SA is what I like to call my passion project.
Your
It's
passion
definitely-
project. I love that.
Yes.
I love that so
You
much.
know,
Yeah.
Everyone has that thing that keeps their soul
Yeah.
going and keeps their heart beating, and this is definitely it.
Yeah.
It ranges from me sharing personal blogs and stories to me sharing information about my book, my speaking engagements, just sharing maybe a moment that happened that I wanted to share. And it's definitely sort of like a going, living sort of blog and life story of me on a day-to-day basis. And I also try and share awareness and different events that people can attend or different books or videos or podcasts that people could watch that may connect to them and their disease specifically.
Yeah.
Very, very, very cool stuff. If you're wondering who we are in conversation with this morning, we're in conversation with Carrie Walsh, a motivational speaker and an author, and someone who's definitely, absolutely beating the odds of being given a life expectancy of only 5 years and finding herself in 2025 at the age of 27 and giving back as much as she can and doing such amazing work in and around our communities. And if you're wondering who she is, she says here her advocacy accolades include ambassadorship for Nappy Run, recognition in the Margaret Hirsch Business Awards, and Toastmasters Competent Communicator certification. Carrie's written contributions in Voices of Disability and her memoir Finding My Feet amplify diverse perspectives, while her fundraising efforts like golf events and sticker sales support marginalized individuals, people who are doing such amazing stuff in and around our communities. And you know that this is what we do right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show every Monday morning, specifically trying to bring these people right to you, to your screens, and of course also right here in studio with us in conversation and sharing all their stories and all this beautiful work that they're involved in.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of being recognized, man, it speaks to, you giving people the motivation that they need. It's, a Monday morning. We know that from a weekend, a lot of people have woken up sluggish and not feeling like they should be going through ahead of this week. But now, while Musi was reading, I heard that, you've received recognition like the Nappy Run ambassadorship and a Toastmaster certification. Can you just, run us through that? How have these milestones empowered your advocacy?
Yes, definitely. So for me, Toastmasters was all about honing my skills in speaking and connecting with different people. So it was definitely an experience for everyone. I think it gave me confidence. It gave me understanding in speaking, in public speaking, in connecting and networking. I think it was a great experience.
Yeah.
It was definitely a learning experience and I really enjoyed it. For me, being an ambassador for the Nappy Run, or even for when I partook in sort of like Arms of Mercy events and rare diseases, it was all about just sharing my perspective and the connection to the project, and also being able to use my platform to give the project a broader share and view. And giving back is always a big part of everyone's day-to-day life. I think we owe the people who have given us so much back in return. And for me and our trust fund, we've always been given so much that I always want to give back where I can as well.
Yeah. You know, when listening to you speaking, man, I just want to ask myself, how is, your daily life? Because if you're a motivational speaker, all we think is when you wake up with motivation. Afternoon is motivation. Dinner is motivation. Every week is motivation.
Yeah.
But can you just let us know, just to give us a clarity of how your day is looking like from day to day basis when you wake up until the end of the day?
Yes, so I definitely call this my passion project also because I do have a job, an adult job, I call it, because you have to pay the bills. So I work in corporate communications. I got my honors in 2020. So I am working in corporate, but it is important to remember, and I learned this, I'm going to say the hard way, but although I am a motivational speaker, I'm not always a ray of sunshine.
Yeah, okay,
or
yeah.
always the happiest person. It's important to remember that you don't always have to be the happiest person in the room. It's not about being unrealistic and creating this unrealistic expectation, but it's also about knowing that when you do have the low times or the bad days, that you find the positive, and that by the next day or in a few hours, you found your own way out of it in order to go back to the person you know and want to be.
So look, man, with and I love how you describe it, like you having an adult job, right? I love that so much. So talk to me. With all of these challenges that you've faced and the odds that you've beaten, what are some of the misconceptions that you've found? Go along with having a rare disease, or someone who is in a chair and can't do, I guess, what is conventionally the normal stuff that any other person can do. What are some of those misconceptions, and how do you feel that we should try as individuals in society try to break them and shy and move away from them?
There's a lot of expectation that often if you are physically disabled, you are mentally disabled, which I think is a very big misconception. But the other one is also that people have zero expectation of you to achieve anything in your life. They just want you to sort of sit and watch TV and drink your tea and just survive. You know, it's not just about surviving, it's about thriving. I also want to achieve things, and I also want to do what everybody else wants to do. I can also imagine myself getting married and having children and getting a job, but I'm only going to be able to do that if I live in a society that gives me that opportunity. But I also need to be willing to work hard if I'm given that opportunity.
Still in conversation with Miss Kerry Walsh, who is a motivational speaker. I can see right now on YouTube we have Miss Tembi Mni. A very good morning, team. Hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Hashtag Sivugile. And then Tumza 6 comes in and saying Kerry Walsh really beat the odd. Tenfold, hundredfold. God is bigger. That is a shout out from one of our viewers right there on our YouTube. And also we expect some of the engagement right there on Facebook, because we are live on Facebook and YouTube. So please do the right things. So Ms. Kerry, in terms of accessibility, how do you define true accessibility, and what does it look like for you in everyday life?
Accessibility is definitely about not doing the tick box exercise and just saying, oh, we go to parking, we maybe have a ramp, cool, we're done. It's about making sure that those accessible elements that you've provided, you know they work, and you know they're valid, and you know that they're going to help someone. And I fully believe that all accessibility should be approved or run or designed by someone who is actually disabled. Because too often it's just, oh, well, we put the ramp in. But did you ever try and drive up the ramp in a chair? Because if you didn't and it's super steep, you're not actually helping anyone. You're just making their life more difficult and more dangerous. So I really hope that accessibility becomes a broad understanding, a broad term, and a legality when it comes to buildings.
Very, very interesting stuff. So, when we're going through your bio, and we just shared, of course, with our viewers and our listeners that, you're also an author, which is something amazing for me. Such cool stuff. And you've written a memoir called Finding My Feet, right, which tells your personal story. So for someone who's not aware of or who's not knowledgeable about who Kerry Welsh is and what her story is, what do you think or what do you feel is the message that you would love someone who's reading your memoir for the first time? What should I take away from it, and what should I learn from it essentially when I'm reading it for the first time?
So the book is aimed at reaching both sort of sides of the story. So I wanted to represent those with the rare disease and living with a rare disease, but I also wanted to reach and maybe communicate to those who know someone with a disability or a rare disease and just needs a little understanding because they don't quite understand how they could help or maybe how they could affect it, or they maybe need a little bit of perspective. But like I said earlier, I don't pretend to be a know-it-all. My book is a perspective. It's my story and my experience, and hopefully it can reach someone and share a perspective of hope and dedication and family and trust in that every day is possible and it's not promised, so make the most of it.
Yeah, and also speaking about communications, because we know that it is getting the message clear to the people out there, whether it's a vast mass, audience of people. And we see that you also have a degree, in communication.
Yeah.
So we just want to know how did it help you to become more effective and advocate and also become, a public speaker?
I definitely think my understanding in corporate communications and communications as a whole has directed the way that I communicate in a very broad manner. It's also made my communication style and strategy very sort of direct and specific. So I think it's always very focused on the message, and it's always focused on championing change, accessibility, equality. Like, it's always going in the same direction. And due to my knowledge and training, I think I can easily sort of represent a consistent message.
Yeah.
Very, very, very cool stuff. So, there's a young girl, a young boy who's watching out there for the first time and is listening to your story and has never heard or even come across Kerry Welsh, and is also living with a rare disease, or perhaps is also in a chair and, is facing all of these challenges that people would face who are in chairs and does not know where to find motivation and does not know who to speak to and is the only one in their family. How would you then, or what are some of the advices and words of wisdom or of hope that you can give to someone who is listening to you and is finding that you've beaten the odds so much tenfold, like one of our watchers and listeners has commented right now? What are some of the things that you would advise them and motivate them, or try to just bring them up and cheer them up as they go on about to their day-to-day lives?
I would definitely say find your community. There's always someone out there that knows what you're going through, or maybe there's someone out there who just understands you or is willing to listen. But I think it's also about remembering that you're not alone, but maybe family or community isn't necessarily blood. It's someone that you connect with and someone that you find some sort of commonality with. And with that, I think it's important to know that you are not alone and there is always someone out there. Sometimes you just got to look a little harder maybe. But in today's day, I think you can find a community online, and within that you may connect with at least one individual who and would be able to trust at some point.
Yeah, nice. And also have a comment from Zinzi Elizabeth saying, very inspirational indeed, Kerry. Being told that your life expectancy will be at 5 years and today you're 26 years. Thank you for sharing, as this gives hope to many that there are endless possibilities.
So people are clearly absolutely loving and appreciating your story, Kerry.
Yeah.
You're coming on here and you're defying the odds essentially, and I love that so much. I know that you run the Kerry Welsh Trust, right? And with running this trust, and I'm sure you're also involved with other stakeholders, and you have partners and people that you work with in the trust. What do you hope is the impact that the trust will have in and around our communities and just in society in general? And what would you like people to learn from it and take away from it?
So the trust actually started as a personal trust fund because we couldn't afford the medical expenses that come with having a rare disease and living a day-to-day life with this kind of condition. And we used it to buy like wheelchairs and for my schooling and all those extra expenses that you don't quite comprehend. And then we decided that we also needed to give back. So we tried to find a couple of individuals who we could give some money to as well that would benefit from our fundraisers, especially people that may be in a similar situation that you could have an instant sort of connection with, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the whole idea of the trust and what I hope for it to be in the future is a place where people who have no option can reach out and say, this is where I am and I'm stuck. What do you think we can do and could you maybe help us?
Very, very interesting there. I mean, it's work that needs to always be there for, someone who needs this kind of ways and motivation to get their day going. Because now in South Africa, we know there's so many challenges that as citizens we are facing. And also, when we look into people dealing with a disability. So the question that I want to ask you is, what do you think are the biggest gaps in accessibility, in South Africa today?
I think the biggest gap that we have is knowledge because people don't have an understanding of what accessibility means.
Yeah.
So therefore they can't enforce it and they can't put it into action. Whereas if there was more knowledge, and we all know knowledge is power, if there was more knowledge about accessibility, I think it would be easier to implement because I don't think people are trying to not do it. I don't think people go out of their way to make somebody else's life more difficult. That's not how people are made. But people are not aware and therefore they're not doing it and not creating these places where people have accessibility. But they don't even know that they're in the wrong. Like they're completely oblivious to the fact that this is not an accessible place.
Very, very interesting stuff. Kerry, thank you so much. We're so happy that you took your time, to spend some time with us this morning and engage with us and essentially share your story and the wisdom and the knowledge that you've gathered over the years. And we love it. We love it so much, man. Thank you. And so, just before we let you go and close off for this morning, is there anything that we are looking forward to with maybe the trust or the K Motivation essay? Is there anything that we can look forward to? We should be on the lookout for, and all of those things.
Definitely the book is always available on my website, and I think the book is going to open so many opportunities for the future. And I'm looking forward to speaking engagements coming up throughout the year. But August is SMA Awareness Month, so K Motivation always does a big sort of social media campaign for that. And that's always a really big push because it's all about awareness and creating knowledge around the whole concept of what it is.
Very, very, very interesting stuff. Because I was actually about to ask that: are there any, events or that happen annually or on a month-to-month basis, whether in person or online, of course, that shed some light on accessibility and persons living with rare diseases and challenges with mobility and visions? Are there any other events that are happening, that you know of or that you are involved in or that you would like people to be knowledgeable about and shed some light on?
I mean, definitely anyone who's interested in any sort of rare disease awareness or events should check out the Rare Diseases Association of South Africa. They do multiple events throughout the year, and they're all based on different rare diseases and conditions that need awareness and fundraising.
Yeah. Very, very, very interesting. Ms. Carey, once again, thank you so much for taking your time and being here with us on the Vooka Breakfast Show. We hope that next time we are going to have, a conversation again, in terms of how is the progress of what you are doing and, how are things looking like and solving those challenges that you guys face each and every day and daily.
Yes, thank you. I'd love to come back and speak to you guys again. I think this is an amazing Monday motivation. I mean, how else do you want to start a Monday other than a good mood, right?
Yeah. Definitely. And we do what we call word of the day. And our word of the day for today was resplendent. So I would just wish you a resplendent day ahead of you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carrie. We really appreciate it. And, enjoy the rest of the day. And hopefully sometime soon, of course, with some of the talks that you mentioned that are coming up and you're looking forward to, would love to hear from you as to how far you've come now and what are some of the things that you've done, and just to catch up with you and just share some more knowledge and information, around accessibility, disability, and rare disease, of course. So we really, really appreciate you taking the time. We thank you a million times. Thank you, Carrie.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, guys. Have a good day.
Cool stuff. That was Carrie Walsh in conversation with us, sharing her story as to where she comes from and what are some of the things that she's involved in right now. Very, very interesting stuff. You know that this is what we do right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, bringing you people who are relevant and doing amazing, amazing, great work in and around our communities. On a Monday morning, we bring you people who are motivational, people who are shaking up our communities and involved in great spaces that you and I can learn so much from, and today is no exception whatsoever. Earlier on, we were hanging out with Miss Lebu from the Lebu Joy Foundation, and just a second ago, we were joined on an online conversation with Carrie Walsh, and we still have more for you.
Yeah.
It doesn't end here. Mo, talk to me, man.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of more, when you come from the break, you're going to be joined by Miss Beatrice Matlapeng, who is an entrepreneur. So definitely you want to know more. If you are an aspiring entrepreneur and you are in a journey of being an entrepreneur, this conversation will be much, speaking into what you are doing. So please do make sure that you stay tuned. For now, let us take a short break, and this is your weather update.
Welcome back to the Vooka Breakfast Show. Now, I hope that everybody is feeling very fantastic and you're also well motivated, hey? We just had a very phenomenal story from and a very amazing speaker who's been through a whole lot of things, and she literally went through the trials and tribulations and soared up into the sky. But right now, it's time for our business blog with Mrs. Beatrice Matlapeng. What did she do? What exactly made her go into entrepreneur, and including some of the amazing kiddies books that she does. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good, thanks. And you?
Mommy? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm also doing fantastic. So how I hope you've enjoyed the ambience of the station, including the niche of our station, and I hope that you woke up feeling good, feeling rejuvenated on this very amazing Monday morning.
Yes, I love being here. Although I'm a little bit nervous, but yeah, I'm sure everything will be okay.
Oh man, there's no need to be nervous. We are very relaxed here. Just take it like you're just sitting with your friend and just telling about your life story.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing much about it. So can you kindly please tell us who is Mom Beatrice Matlapeng?
Okay, so I'm Beatrice. I grew up in Rustenburg. Did most of my studies there, and then I studied in the Val. And then, I end up here in Joburg. And then I am the owner-manager at Bakidis. That's an inflatable business that assists schools in fundraising while having fun.
Oh, now that's amazing. So, out of curiosity, why open Bakidis? What's the inspiration behind opening Bakidis and why it started?
Okay, so I guess for me is I want to change. Growing up in the rural areas and then coming up here in Joburg, there's whole lot of difference. So the rurals, there's no entertainment for kids whatsoever. So as I grew up, as I visited Joburg often, I got inspired in starting the Bakidis.
Very, very interesting stuff. I love it. I love how Kajeko, I'll tell you, Beatrice, I love today that, I'm crazy about it. I love it. So, for someone who doesn't know, what are some of the spaces that Beatrice is involved in, and where, how would you explain, these are the spaces I'm involved in, this is what I do, and this is my journey essentially as an entrepreneur coming from Rustenburg, right? You mentioned. Yes. I love yes, who was just in studio with us. Yes. So how has your journey been as an entrepreneur, and how would you describe the spaces that you're involved in as Beatrice?
Okay, so it's a very tough market because everyone wants to be in the space. Entertainment space, right? Yeah. And then for me, this space, it's not about, you gotta have passion, you gotta love events. For you to succeed in this space. Yeah. And then I'm also an author. Again, with that comes a lot of passion.
You don't just go into it.
Don't just go into
it.
Yeah.
So an author as well.
Yes.
So how do you tie those worlds together now? From someone who's involved in entertainment and being an author, how do those come together, and how do you navigate the space of being an author and an entrepreneur, especially in entertainment? Because like you just said, entertainment is easy, and passion should really accommodate and go along with it. So how do you tie those two worlds together and make it work essentially?
Okay. So I write for children, right? And then by kiddies also, we cater for the kiddies market.
Oh.
So as I go along doing these events, I notice that there's too much littering that goes around with or that happens in this event space. So I decided to write books that inspires or talks about recycling, to just try and educate people that recycling actually is it's not a good thing to do. Yes, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So kiddies entertainment.
Kiddies entertainment.
Yeah.
Kiddies books.
So what is that? So for someone who's never heard of it, ke motho mo tona or ke ngwana ko high school, I've never heard of the term kiddies entertainment. How would you describe and define the term kiddies entertainment?
Okay, so what my kiddies does is we hire out inflatables.
Yes.
And then we do events. So most of our income comes from the schools. What we do with the schools is we fundraise while having fun. We fundraise for the schools while having fun.
Fundraise for the schools while having fun.
Yeah.
Man, I love it. I love it. I love it. It's very, very, very cool stuff. So, by kiddies, what is the inspiration behind it? Where does it come from, and how were you pushed to say, you know what, this is the role and the path that I want to go in, and I want to work with kids. Where does the inspiration come from, by kiddies?
Okay, like I said, so in the rurals there's barely anything there for
bana. Yeah.
Yes. And then growing up, I always knew that fun enough, I wanted to own a merry-go-round that I could take around and just let kids ride, because it's things that I was seeing when I'm visiting in Joburg, which is things that we don't have on the other side. So that's how I got inspired to start my kiddies. And then also the other thing that I was actually tired of, when I take my boys around, we will spend lots and lots of money just on entertainment. Then finally, I thought, how about if I go into this? Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting stuff, yeah.
I'll be sitting there, and then just in no time, 1,000 Rand gone just on entertainment. Yeah, then I thought,
why not go into it and try and make it affordable, I guess, essentially.
Yes.
Yeah, very cool stuff. Everybody?
So far I've caught that kiddies are your passion, basically.
Yes.
You love kids and making sure that kids are also entertained while also being educated in a very fun way.
Yes.
So what are the possible challenges that you have faced with Bakidis so far since you have started? Because I think at this day and age, not everybody still hires inflatables. So how have you managed to stay in the market and make sure that as much as people don't hire inflatables that much, you still stay relevant and people still come to you for your services?
Yes, you are right by saying the market has really gone down. But fortunately for us, because we do businesses with the schools, and we've really created trust with the schools
and relationships.
So they keep coming back. And remember, we what I said is we not just about putting the inflatables there. We fundraise. Yeah, it's a fundraising for them, so there is a need for that. Yeah, in these schools.
So
that's why we're still relevant, I guess.
And I was about to ask, and I love the fact that you use the word relevant, right? And because the way Afripera thing is that it's quite a tough market.
It is.
I've been involved with kids a bit, edutainment, as they would say, right? And there are so many challenges that comes with working, and it's not easy. It's so not an easy task to impress abana and get them involved and stuff like that. So as Bakidis or as Beatrice, how do you stay up to date with the latest trends? Because social media is the in thing now. Bana ba itse go berekisa bo di tablet, the laptop and all of those things. And when you come with inflatables and stuff like that, like everybody just said, I can't battle up mama. So how do you stay up to date with the latest trends and the things that are coming into fashion and in the market, and try to stay relevant, like you just mentioned?
Yeah. So for us, we've got variety of things. Yeah, we don't just take like your standard jumping castles. We've got varieties to choose from. So with the schools, we just give them everything that we've got. So kids are not bored. Because of the varieties that we have.
Okay, so would you mind breaking down the different varieties that you have so that anybody who would like to hire out by kiddies know that there's also something extra.
Yes, definitely.
Extra that they can actually do just to have fun and enjoy themselves.
Okay, so we've got a range of jumping castles, we've got water slides, we've got the water balls, we've got swings, we've got trains. Yeah, and then we'll also create a coloring corner. Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that you guys offer.
Things that we offer,
It's a lot. So for me personally, next time when you have an activations, can I just test drive just to make sure that everything is safe? Just to give it a test drive, just go on the water slide, the castles, and just see that everything is okay. So can you also tell us what is the inspiration behind your first book, The Day It Stopped Raining?
Okay, so I don't know if you guys remember, but a while back, the world or South Africa talk about cutting down on water.
Yes.
When it was not raining at all,
Yes.
and then we were all encouraged. I know we were all encouraged to take the 5-minute showers and all of those things.
Yes.
So I did a little bit of research, and I came across the word climate change, and for me, it was like, such a big term. How do I simplify it for the small ones? Yeah, and then that's what got me to write The Day It Stopped Raining, which is a book about really learning about climate change in the most fun and easy way.
So perhaps you are wondering, who are we talking to now? Because I told you that we have so much in store for you this morning, man. From having a conversation with Miss Lebo from the Lebo Joy Foundation, and a couple of minutes ago we were on a Zoom conversation with Kerry Welsh, and now in studio live, seated right next to Afriberry, we're in conversation with Beatrice Matlapeng, someone who is very passionate, about the work of entertainment for kids, coming from Rustenburg, saying that when she was growing up, she realized that there aren't too many things that the rural areas offers kids in terms of entertainment, and so she took it upon herself to say that I am going to take it upon myself and do all of these things that kids can find joy in, essentially, and have fun while learning as much as they can. So she says here, Beatrice Matlapeng, Beatrice M, known as Beatrice Matlapeng, born in Johannesburg, grew up in Rustenburg, South Africa. Owner and manager at Bakidis, a company aimed at helping schools fundraising while having fun, like she just mentioned. She's an author and a publisher of children's books. She has successfully self-published The Day It Stopped Raining, and illustrated by Abigail Kosh, and Bakidis coloring books range illustrated by Moses Dladla. These books are aimed at children from the ages of 3 all the way to 8 years old. Such amazing stuff. And you know that this is some of the things that we bring to you, and these are the people who are doing amazing stuff in and around our communities, and this is what we do right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blinko Network. So of course, you can engage with us and share all your thoughts and opinions across all our social media platforms using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Miss Afriberry?
You know what? I also saw that you also wrote another book, which I find very interesting.
Yeah.
Especially when you look at the huge ecosystem that we're currently struggling with, and the different ways that it's also impacting or affecting the climate. It's another book, Mona Ebitswang Tumi's Big Community Cleanup. So when we wrote and illustrated this book, what was the main motivation, or what was the key pointers that you wanted the kids to take from the book when they read it?
Okay, so this is the one that speaks mainly about recycling. Yeah, which was inspired by the different events that I do, and then people leave the venues.
Yes.
So untidy.
Yeah.
So really, I want the small ones to grow up with that mentality of recycling, reusing. Yes.
Wow,
Yeah,
very,
that's
very
what
interesting stuff.
inspired that one,
Very
yeah.
interesting stuff. Our station manager's older brother is also someone who's very passionate about recycling, essentially, especially in schools, like you just mentioned. So, what is the inspiration behind it, and what do you think, or what do you hope that someone like me as an adult, ke na le ngwana ko sekolong, and Os Beatrice is coming ko sekolong sa ngwanaka, and you're trying to push, and essentially share so much knowledge and information regarding the space of recycling. What do you hope for some of the things that I should take away, or that the kids themselves should take away?
So I love what's his name now? Tabiso.
Yes.
I love Tabiso at Power FM. He normally says "Itate mo Africa."
Yes.
So I say, guys, climate change is real. Littering is not an option. So, and it's not too late for all of us to change our behavior. Yeah.
I love that. And you just mentioned Itate. We actually know the Itate Foundation, the Itate Mo Africa Foundation. Very, very amazing stuff. And we have a bit of ties with them, actually, with the Itate Foundation. And I love the fact that you just brought them up, because they're also people who are doing work like yourself, trying to share so much knowledge about loving and appreciating yourself as an African child, and essentially giving out this knowledge that you just gave out. Yeah, man, Afriberry.
But yes, so as writing in its own self, it's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know who inspired you to become an author. Because let's be honest, when it comes to especially writing kiddies' book, you need to have like a very creative,
definitely
fun. You need to go back and imagine yourself as a kid,
yes,
before you can even write it. So I want to know, like, who inspired you to start writing kiddies' books?
Believe it or not, I've always loved writing since high school, but I did not think it of a business or anything else. I was just writing for fun. But then one day, one corporate had asked me to get together the packs for the kids. But this was educational packs. Yeah, and then I was looking for one coloring book. I couldn't find it in the markets. So I thought, how about I create my own? Yeah, that's how I went back into writing. And then, yeah, I did the Bakidis coloring books range. That's how I started really going into back into writing.
Oh, that's
because of that one corporate.
That had asked you to do that.
I gave them really what I didn't want to, but after that, I initiated the Bakidis coloring books range.
Very interesting stuff. Very interesting, Afriberry. I love it. I love it so much. Aimed at having so much fun, but at the same time trying to share so much knowledge. So talk to me. Being an author is also not an easy thing, like Afriberry said, right? And you are always trying to be relevant, right? And try to be relatable as well to the adults who would be reading and Lebanon. So as an author, outside of just all of the spaces we involved in, what have you find that is your biggest obstacle as an author in trying to be relevant and relatable to the kids, but as well as being educational? What are some of the biggest obstacles that you have come across with writing all of these books, from the day it stopped reading to the coloring book and all of the books that you've been involved in?
I think the biggest challenge is marketing. I'm not a marketing person, guys. I just write books. Yeah. But then to get them out there is another thing. Yeah. So if you look at these books, I think I've written them like maybe 3 years back, and I'm only starting to put myself out there as an author. Yeah, I think that marketing has been the biggest challenge, but I've kind of like figure out how to go about it now. So with all the schools that we do, that are already on the Bakidis portfolio, those are the schools that I go back and say, look, how about a book reading? And yeah.
Oh, you just made me miss story time back
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Did I not love that? My teacher knew very well that come story time, I am the one pulling out the book. I am the one in the front row. Because, reading books to kids is a very amazing and fantastic feeling, especially when they get to see the different values that it has and the different teachings that it has. But it also depends on how you actually deliver the book itself when reading it to a child. So I also wanted to know what inspired so you've already told me what inspired the Bakidi's coloring range, right?
Mm-hmm.
So who is your favorite author or illustrator? The person who inspired you to say, you know what, I'm going to make this certain coloring book have this certain animals or this certain type of depiction. And you know what, the day it stopped raining, it's going to have maybe a kid running up and down the street, and then the rain stopped. It's like wondering why. Just wanted to know who inspired you to become an author, and who's that very fantastic person that also inspired you into illustration?
So for illustrations, I went with Abigail Goch. It's a lady that I met at the writing school that I attended. Yeah. So, okay, I forgot to mention, my first writing, it was my first book was called Quixie the Red. And then with that book, I gave it to my friends and then to say, please just give me your honest opinion on this book.
Yes.
There were good and negative feedback. And then I met Mia Botha from the Writers Club. I also gave her a book, and then she encouraged me to come for a writing lesson. And then, after that, that's how I managed to write all these other books. Yeah, so I would say my inspiration was Mia Botha, and then also in that class, I met Abigail Goch, who was the illustrator. Yeah, and then along the way, I met Moses Ladler, who illustrated my coloring books. Yeah.
I love it. It. So you've met all these amazing people in the space of writing, right? And people who are very well versed and very knowledgeable about writing and illustrating and all, right? So now we're living in a time, in a very technological era, right? And we're living in an era where it is very influenced by social media and social trends, and trying to make our lives easier, I guess, as individuals in the society, using technology or using gadgets and stuff like that, right? And with that, we've seen the introduction of AI. Right. And, the thing around AI is that most jobs that were being done by you and I and Afriberry and our technical team are slowly being replaced by AI. All right. So what do you think, or what's your take, as an author yourself, about stories that are depicted by AI? So ngai ke le musiki ko ChatGPT or DeepSeek, I want a story about stopping the rain, or I want a kiddie's story about playing on swings, and it gives me an entire thing, and I can write that quickly and submit that and say, Kimusi, I've written a book, as opposed to sitting down and going through the creative process of writing and illustrating and having conversations with all of those people. What's your take on AI?
I wouldn't recommend AI in terms of writing books, because what AI does, remember, it takes from other people's stories. Yeah. So with books, you need to be creative. It needs to be your original content. Yeah.
So you wouldn't recommend it for
I wouldn't recommend it, not for writing. Maybe for something else. Like I said, it can steal your content, it will steal her content, and then it combines everything.
And makes it into one thing. Yeah. I see you. So we've mentioned the challenges, right, of working with kids and writing your books and stuff like that. So let's talk about now the successes now, because I'm sure they've been successes over the years. And what are some of the most memorable ones that you can think of? I worked with this author, or I was at that event with the kids, or something. I don't know. In all of the spaces you're involved in, what are some of the most memorable things that you can think of right now?
Okay, so remember I said I'm only Now starting to put myself out there as an author. Yeah, so I don't really have many of those memories, but what I can share is the schools that I've done. I think I've seen about more than 5 schools already since Feb. Yeah, up till now, I've seen more than 5 schools, and the kids are responding well. We are reading, and they are understanding what makes me happy is they are understanding what we are reading about. They are understanding what climate change is all about. They are understanding what recycling is all about. And for me, that is good enough. Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Afriperi, anything else before we let us Beatrice go?
So I wanted to know how does it feel when you see a child react to the amazing stories you write in your book? Their face, how does it feel to see their face change from maybe being sad to a happy smile, or you have excitement after just coming from a book reading and they just had your wonderful bold stories from the books?
It really feels amazing. The only sad part is me not being able to afford to give each and every child a book. So I guess I can say to the listeners out there, if you want to donate a book, you most welcome to reach out to us. We will make that possible for you. Yeah. The saddest thing is not for me not being able to give each and every child a book. Remember, I do all these things from my own pocket.
Yes. Like Oslebulene mentioned, all of the work that she's doing is coming from her own pocket. And she would absolutely appreciate, like you just mentioned, Luana, you'd absolutely appreciate any, help that or assistance that you can get from anyone who's listening and watching out there. So, in closure, very quickly, what are we looking forward to as Bakidis, as an author, Beatrice, and all of the spaces we're involved in? What are we looking forward to? Is there anything upcoming very quickly that you would love people to come through and have awareness about and come and attend, essentially?
Yeah, so I do have another 3 books that I'm busy with. If I can just share.
Absolutely, yes.
The one, it's all about happy Mondays. I am so tired of people being so negative on a Monday morning.
Yes.
I don't want the kids to grow up like you guys.
Yes, having that mindset and that mentality.
The title of the book is called Thank God It's Monday.
Love it,
and then another book, it raises about awareness about the road safety.
Road safety.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then the third one is a book about greed. Yeah, this one is inspired by my corporate journey. So looking forward to releasing those books. Yeah.
Very, very, very cool stuff. Any activations, like Afriperi mentioned, is there an event that we're looking forward to maybe in the next coming months, or I don't know, in the next year or something? Is there any function that maybe we can reach out and go there and find Os Beatrice and stuff like that?
I think because of the rain now, so we've kind of like moved things to the coming summer. So our first event will be at Rietvlei Zoo Farm. That will be on the 30th of August. Yeah. But in terms of reading, nothing yet that I can share with you guys. But if people want to know more info, I'm sure I will be publishing things on my social pages. Yeah.
Very, very amazing stuff. Thank you.
Thank you for coming through. We just hope that when you have one of those events, you'll also be invited to come and do like an activation, a cover of the event, so people actually get to see you doing the amazing work that you're doing for themselves. And who knows, I might just offer up my voice for just reading there for the kiddies.
Yes.
I'll just read for the Ngwanis there.
Okay.
Yes,
so,
Beatrice.
Yeah, before we go, I just want to say shout out to Mudise, the magical Mudise. He always goes around with me when we do this book reading.
Yes.
Just to set the mood right for the kids. Yeah. Before we get into the reading
Yes.
sessions.
Very cool stuff. A huge, huge shout out to Modi. So people are engaging with us right on our comment section, and on YouTube, Ubanele coming through saying, I think the green book is also for adults, not just for kiddies. You know, so very, very cool stuff. So we're looking forward to all of those. And please, by all means, and you've published and released them, reach out to us so that we can also share all of these, this knowledge that you're trying to put out there in our societies and just in public in general, because we all need this information and knowledge about recycling and, getting motivated, essentially, like you mentioned on Mondays, and not being lethargic. This is one of the words that they like here in studio. So thank you, Os Beatrice. So how do I reach out to you as someone who's listening and watching and wants to get involved with all of the spaces that you're involved in? Social media, WhatsApp, website, anything that you can offer.
Okay, so for the event, it's www.bakidis.co.za, or you can check our Facebook page, Bakidis. And then for the books, it's Beatrice M. Books. Yeah, www.beatricembooks.co.za.
Yes.
Yeah,
very, very, very cool stuff. So, the website. The website is www.bakidis.co.za.
Yes,
.za. And then across social media platforms, we go and search for Beatrice M or Beatrice Matlapeng.
Beatrice M. Books.
Oh, Beatrice M. Books. You heard it for yourself. This is what we do right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blink-On Network, bringing you amazing people like Os Beatrice who are doing such great stuff and amazing work in and around our communities. And we can't wait to hear from her about all the books that she is lined up to release in the next coming months. And, hopefully she'll agree again and be so graceful to come back and hang out with us right here in studio and share a bit more of her story and get into all of the things that we couldn't get into, because you know what they say, that when we're having fun, time absolutely does fly. So with that being said, we really appreciate you to come and hang out with us, and we can't wait to hear from you again. Any words of inspiration for an upcoming author, someone who is starting out to work or wants to get into working with kids and edutainment and things of that sort? How would you inspire or motivate or advise them and stuff like that, hearing what your story is and how you got here, essentially?
Okay, so in terms of the event, if you're looking to do the inflatables, just remember it's not all about putting the event there and then the money will start coming in. No. There's a whole lot of marketing that goes behind putting an event together. Yeah. And then for writing, I would say align yourself with people that do what you are doing. Go for those writing lessons or classes before you put your things out there. Go for editing. Don't just publish your material. Go for editing, and remember, if you are self-publishing, that comes with a whole lot of marketing that you need to do on your own. Unlike if you are doing a traditional publishing, with that, everything is taken care of the publisher. But obviously with that, maybe your income will be less than if you were doing self-publishing, if you know.
Very, very cool stuff. Thank you once again. We appreciate you, and we can't get enough. We can't, and we really hope that you'll reach out again and stay in touch with us and share all of the amazing work that you do. So you heard it for yourself right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blink-On Network, hanging out with Beatrice Matlapeng, who is Enclosure, yes.
Yeah, enclosure again. Itate mo Africa. Remember, climate change is real. Littering is not an option.
Come on, you heard it for yourself right here. Itate mo Africa, and recycling is an absolute must that you and I should absolutely look into and practice as adults in our day-to-day lives and in public and essentially in general in the society. Thank you once again, Os Matlapeng, and we're looking forward to hearing from you and seeing all of the great work that you will be doing from here on, with the kids and all the books that are lined up to be released. Thank you. So let you and I take a very short break quickly, run to the loo, grab a glass of water, a cup of coffee, because it's still a bit chilly, and you know that we're heading into the cold season. So let's do that, pay our bills, and you and I will see each other right after this cool stuff.
Vooka Breakfast Show.
We're out here in the heart of Soweto, Top Santon. This is right next to Zondi Hills, and just before you get to Broad Fisher Club. I'm out here. My name is Musi Nest. I'm out here with the one and only maximum temperature. I'm working my TC Shabalala Wakamazibugo, and of course our station manager, the one and only Banele Lyric. And we're traveling out here, man. This is what we do on the Vooka Breakfast Show.
Yeah, you gotta get it fresh.
We are fresh and nice. Now it's time to take the information to the people.
Of course, like Mo just mentioned, one of our do stay tuned, comment, like, subscribe, share your thoughts and your opinions and everything else in between. We're going to be coming to a street to do live near you, wanting to know what your thoughts are out there on the street.
Of course, we've got TC Mazibugo with the traffic update. Right now, we are going to N1 southbound to make sure that whatever that you guys get, it is real-time information. So, looking at Mukhorosi, we have robots that are not working right here, but the traffic is moving. We're going to look at when is your rush hour time, when people are from the work, from school, right? I'm gonna give you your daily update. So do make sure that you stay with us. Mobile Vooka Breakfast Show.
Doing amazing and great work right here in and around our communities. This is what we do. This is what we do right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blanco Network, bringing you people who are doing amazing work, moving and shaking our communities and trying to give back, with all that they can, and, with not being forced whatsoever, just doing it out of the love and passion that they have for all of the spaces that they are involved in. Earlier on, we were in conversation with Miss Lebo from Lebo Joy Foundation, who is a community mover and shaker, and trying to give back to the communities that she is involved in, and not just the communities that she lives in, but just essentially in the general public and society, of course. You can head on over to Lebo Joy Foundation across all our their social media platforms, and they would really love, any help and assistance that you can offer them in terms of, giving away sanitary towels and, helping young girls in our communities stay up to date and stay knowledgeable and informed and educated about growing up as a young lady. And then after that, we were hanging out on an online conversation and meeting with Carrie Walsh. Carrie Walsh was someone who was, born or diagnosed with atrophy, right, from the age of 1, and was expected to, lose her life at the age of 5. But she has beaten all the odds and is now, a communication specialist, someone who's working in the corporate space, and is very well versed when it comes to communication, and is also an author herself, doing amazing stuff and sharing her story and her life experiences in terms of, being someone who has a rare disease and is in a wheelchair. And then a second ago, we were hanging out with Beatrice Matlapeng, who is an entrepreneur and author and someone involved in the space of entertainment for kids and with kids, edutainment. As you can see there, these are some of the books that she has, written and has been involved in. I'm seeing here, the ABC coloring book. She's also involved with the Bakidi's NPO, or the Bakidi's, company that she runs with all the stakeholders and partners that she has there. So very, very, very cool stuff. And the conversation does not end here. Of course, you know that you can also engage with us and comment and share your thoughts and opinions across all our social media platforms using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. And you can also get in touch with these people through us, and we'll share all our thoughts, all your thoughts and your opinions and everything else, from questions, answers, queries, opinions, anything that you want to know from them. We'll absolutely give it to them and reach out to them so that they can get that and get back to you. So this is what we do right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. Africa, I know you have something on your side.
Oh yes. Yeah. So guys, and if you also head over to Beatrice M Books, the website .co.za, you'll also see that she's currently running a special for the books. So if you buy 2 of the reading books and then you get 3 of the coloring books, which is the books that we just shown right now. If you go to britishmbooks.co.za, that's where you can purchase the 2 reading books and you get the 3 coloring books for free. So please, they always say supporting Black is supporting self, and I hope you also have a fantastic time reading the books and also coloring inside the lines, not inside the lines with your kiddies. But obviously for me, Afriberry, also known as Miss Berry Blaze, but to the darker the berry, the sweeter than Tuntun. Imnandi mamnyama mamhlophile kutekateken but maraloko fan men na we ta ikhoma kahle.
Yeah, man. Yeah, very, very, very cool stuff. So, and like I said before the break, that time flies when you and I are having absolute fun. The time right about now is 20 minutes past the hour, 10 o'clock on a Monday morning, the 7th of April, 2025. Like I always say, Africa, I always tell Mo that I absolutely hate the weather that we're experiencing right now. I completely hate it, guys. I don't know about you, and I don't know how people love winter. Like Bobane, our station manager, guys, is someone who appreciates the cold season, and I don't know how that happens, but anyway, each to their own. So with that being said, that's what we were having in store for you. Tomorrow is no exception whatsoever. It's a Tuesday, and we always bring you amazing stuff right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blinko Network. In closure, is there anything else that you have,
No, all I gotta say is hamban gahle and salen gahle. Don't forget to also stay warm under this very cold weather.
Yeah, man. I know more that mentioned that I'm gonna give you the idiom of the day. Come back tomorrow, because you know what I do. I bring you stuff that is amazing and knowledgeable and essentially aimed at you and I, trying to improve our day-to-day spoken language and of course ultimately our vocabularies, and I have that in store for you tomorrow as well. The word of the day that will be accompanied by idiom of the day. So with that being said, from us right here, stay safe, stay motivated, stay healthy, stay hydrated, and stay warm, and be cautious out there on the roads, because you know that the weather is not on our side necessarily for someone like me who absolutely hates it. So it's a bit wet and slippery out there on the road, so we absolutely hope that you will stay cautious. But with that being said, from myself, the one and only MOOCEE Mist, my name is Musi Mist, and I couldn't have been happier to be in your company this Monday morning. As you can see right there on our screens, we're about to show you some of the books that Beatrice Matapenge has published and has released. We see that Tumi's big community cleanup, and the day is stopped raining. Such amazing stuff. I can't wait to get into them and read them and find out what happened the day it stopped raining. But with that being said, let you and I see each other tomorrow morning, where we give you your daily dose of positivity and your energetic start to the day right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blinko Network. With that being said, I'll see you tomorrow. Cool stuff.